What up, though? What's up, everybody? Hit the Rogans up so we can break the algorithms. Smash the Rogans up. All right. Boom. I say we get straight into the gravy. So we're told that this Earth is a magic spinning ball where these huge oceans go convex and no, my bad. Water goes convex, right, around this ball, this magic spinning ball, and we evolved from monkeys, and we were a tiny speck of dust in this universe, and blase, blase, blah. Come to find out, a lot of us started finding out that I guess these people thought it was cool. They were cool to like trick everybody and make them think the Earth was like this magic ball when it's really flat. And so we started looking into it. All of us thought it was stupid. We have our different reasons why, what that made us like actually look into it just to disprove it. So we go do our research to disprove it. And we start researching for years. Then we build this community on YouTube, right? Really. And everyone's like sharing and researching similar subjects that you go down this path trying to figure out. And it was real easy. Now, if you try to look into it, it's not easy. You can't find it. If you type something in about flat Earth, you're going to get everything to try to convince you that it's not flat. Yeah, it's my bad. So we all look into it. We're all afraid to talk about it. I guess most of us are, I don't know. I talked about it when I was like first looking into it to people, but you feel like you need to research a lot before you make the decision because you're like, wow, there's so much to this, but you want to make sure you're not missing anything. But it's pretty obvious that it's flat. No curvature, no axial rotation ever substantiated. So that means it's a flat, stationary plane, It is what it is. So anyway, let's just get into some gravy, I guess. All right, this is what we're told the Earth is right here. 7,917 miles diameter, 3,959 miles radius. Okay. And this thing spins, and we never fill it, but it's just so big. It's so big, and it's spinning and shooting through space, but we don't ever fill it because it's so big. And that happens every year. The stars reset, all based around the center star that barely moves a little bit in. That doesn't make sense. Oh, check that out. They don't really make sense on this mystical made-up globe. But of course, they look like they make more sense when you flatten the Earth out. All right, so here I'll add this other picture. Actually, go ahead. They lied to you about this dude named Nikola Tesla. They didn't want you to know about him because he was a legend, and wizards don't like legends. Inherently, they're just threatened by them, like wizards hate legends. Anyway, this guy right here, Nikola Tesla, one of his quotes, all perceptible matter comes from a primary substance or tenuity beyond conception, filling all space, the akasha or luminiferous ether, which is acted upon by the life-giving prana or creative force, calling into existence in never-ending cycles all things and phenomena. What a quote, bro. Yeah, that dude was a legend, bro. That's all there is to it. They lied about him. Was trying to give you energy, and they didn't like that. And so, science decided to go with this crazy person and reify space. Yeah, this little incestuous grabbler here. All right, he's had too much screen time. This legend was, suppressed from you. No big deal. Just the CIA, literally suppressed his information from you so that you would be a resource slave. Who's counting? He made AC electricity. May sound familiar. You use it in everything that is electric powered. Yeah, man. Edison, DC current, direct current. Tesla, AC, alternate current. This dude took his AC generator and perfected it. The short guy in the middle with the cigar. Charles Produce Steinmetz. And like I said, for some reason, this is the definition of a wizard. He's like the worst of the wizards almost. Like this dude just a fuzzy-haired crackpot. They listen to him, reified space, don't understand any of this. See, because they reified space, because they're retarded, they attribute physical properties to everything that exists. So the way that they interpret the known universe, quote unquote, is everything is physical. And it's just objectively not. So this simple mistake in the beginning has completely derailed science. I'll give you an example. This is an electrical field of circuit. The dotted lines is the dielectric field. The solid lines is the magnetic field. They are inherent. In fact, more accurately, the magnetism is the dielectric field. They are inherently coexistent. Two sides to the same coin. This is what it looks like when electricity goes into your power lines. This is everywhere. This is a coherent manifestation of the fields. Okay. The point here is in this these electric lines of induction lines of dielectricity, these dotted lines that make up the dielectric field. These little breaks in the lines is what they call electrons. Now, as you can see, those clearly aren't electrons. Those are little gaps. They're nothing. They're breaks in the lines of induction in the fields. But they listened to this crazy person. So they had to say it was a, subatomic charge carrying particle. I mean, really, J.J. Thomson specifically, but the constraint that comes from adopting this crazy person's reification is why we still have that kind of nonsense. I didn't check sound. I'm pretty sure we're good. So yeah, I feel like maybe some people need a casual introduction to this because people just shut down. What you'll find out is people just cannot handle it. Oh, what is this? We saw something from 273 miles away, but it was all this mystical, prolific, amazing, convenient refraction, right? It's super cool, man. It always just works when we see too far. No matter what happens or what the image is doing or what we see looks like, no matter what the parameters or variables of the observation are, we know that it was just a crazy, off-the-wall coincidence, insane, beyond even the realm of possibility refraction. Cool. 1963, Sword in the Stone. Popular Disney movie. Merlin, the literal wizard, brainwashes the kid about how we live on a ball. They show the misrepresentation of the flat earth. Arthur, you're not woke, bro. The earth isn't flat. Water doesn't fall off the edge like this, since people actually believe that. It's this magic ball, Arthur. What? Merlin, what are you talking about? I assure you, Arthur, it is a magical, spinning, cartoon, CGI, physics-defying ball. The owl's calling him out from the rip. He's like, what are you talking about, Merlin? Or maybe he called him out about the planes. He was probably complicit in the globe brainwash because, he represents Moloch. Oh, too much gravy? So then he comes over to this telescope and he says, in fact, Arthur, they'll find out in the future that they're nothing but this tiny little speck of dust in the universe. So, yeah, cool, bro. You're a tiny speck of dust, you little wizard. So when they made up this religion to brainwash the masses, they decided that they would throw numerical markers representing their esoteric belief system or religion, such as the speed of the globe's orbit is 66,600 miles per hour, which means we are shooting around the sun in a revolution at 66,600 miles per hour. Okay. The curvature in 1 mile squared, 0.666 feet. We're on a 23.4 degree tilt axis. And if you subtract that from 90 degrees, the remainder is 66.6. Probably just a coincidence. And we live on this thing somehow. If NASA released this, y'all would be like, that's definitely real. Y'all would rep that. Y'all would say it's real. Y'all are that brainwashed. This is a picture from my PowerPoints. You would say, yeah, for sure. That's real. But this is what we really see. No big deal. Just horizons rising up at great distances and being flat. So in the late 40s, the U.S. military decided to start exploring Antarctica. And after this, we founded NASA in 1958. So after Operation High Jump and Admiral Byrd led exploration teams to Antarctica on behalf of the American military, we came up with NASA and made Warner Van Braun the head of the space program. So then we signed a treaty in 1959. And for some reason, all the world's superpowers decided to agree on this and sign this piece of paper. Now it's 50-something. 59? 53. Too many, doesn't matter. All the important countries. They've been on there anyway since the beginning. The relevance, of course, if somehow you don't know, is Antarctica would prove one way or the other what the Earth is. Conveniently enough, you cannot go there privately. This is what every ancient civilization thought the world looked like, or a lot of them. All the rest of them, they thought it was flat because it is flat, and everyone's always known it. Not really a big deal, to be honest. They lied about the earth, bro. Chill out. You making it a big deal is the only way it could be a big deal. This is more like what the earth really looks like. We have an inertial plane in the middle of the magnetic toroidal field, and that would be Earth. Yes, an inertial plane. This is, of course, just putting things together via Occam's razor and realizing there's a huge magnetic source in the center of the Earth, and all compasses go there. Conveniently enough, you can't travel there either. Well, that's probably just a coincidence. So yeah, this is the only real field, or this is the truly self-governing field of the universe. And if you combine dielectricity and magnetism, which is this field, then you get electricity. So that's why this was hidden from you. Well, one of many reasons, obviously. But that is back to why they hid this legend from you. And then they gave you this crazy person. He said things like this. I have come to believe that the motion of the earth cannot be detected by any optical experiment. Albert Einstein, 1922. You don't say, Albert. It's not moving, you moron. And I have this feeling that this little grabbler knew that. So what we'll do... Yeah, bro, Einstein derailed science. It's really not a big deal. Everyone needs to chill. Because everyone wants to hold on to their science, man. Like, dude, get over it, bro. It's really getting on some of our nerves. Like, no one cares about your quantum nonsense because it's dumb. All right, let me come check out what y'all are talking about. My bad. Y'all in here talking about Bernie being a commie? Obviously. Dude's a crazy person. Hey, forget them, man, because they're lame, bro. They don't appreciate the gravy. Take the gravy away from them. We're really just telling them to get on, bro. We don't care. What's up, everybody, though? Bob's the man, bro. Bob turns your mind to gravy real quick. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm Gucci. I'm just kind of tired. Like, yeah, I accidentally forgot last night. I didn't forget. I just got busy before I realized it was too late. Dude, I just wanted to go into this with a relaxed. You never know, man. You never know what gets people. Everyone's different, Maybe someone was supposed to hear about the Earth being flat like that. Because it really isn't a big deal, bro. I think that's one of the biggest things, bro. Everyone just freaks out about everything, and then we're not even learning anything. We're just over here defending a lie. I'm like, well, we aren't, but you understand my premise here. Like, come on, bro. Can we grow up? That's what we should be learning about. What is that? Okay, look at that, bro. Sorry, guys, I was trying to figure this out. I'm trying to do something. I had it all set up. No one cares, dude. So yeah, man. Basically, you were lied to about everything. We're working on a map, okay? So when these little globe zealots that come at you about a religion you know 10 times more than about, just ignore them, because we're doing what needs to be done, and we need to figure out what we're not being told about the earth so we can actually know about what's going on the earth inherently, because we don't understand nature. So there's that. That's one of the wizard tricks. The wizard tricks is to divert away to some question they think that you can't answer. Bunch of wizards, bro. It's like, why do meteors fall from the sky? Because they do. Can you chill? Like, if you say I don't know, they think they won. It's like, oh, you're retarded. Jesus. All right. Let's show some love to my boy here. Let's check this video out, guys. I was gonna play this in the debate, but it was a disaster having to listen to all that and trying to keep it honest and on point. Anyway, here you go. Actually, I think I can do this. My bad.
Flat Earth comes from Grota 1.
Of course, this is my boy, a legend, Ben from Taboo Conspiracy. If somehow you're not subbed, stop being lame. Go show my boy some love.
Hello, everyone. Today I decided I needed to get back to what I love, and that's proving that we live on a flat and stationary Earth. I sometimes make the mistake of getting caught up in pointless debates with sellouts and their mindless army of automaton trolls. But I'm back. This new proof of the flat Earth comes from Grota 1 from a frozen lake in Manitoba, Canada. I strongly encourage everyone to head over to his channel and subscribe to show your support, because he obviously went to a lot of effort for truth here. For this curvature test, Grota 1 essentially set 4 lights at around 1 foot above the water and ice. He set up his camera at about 8 miles away from the furthest light and 5 miles away from the closest light. The lights were spread out at about
Dang, bro. I just saw that there was no audio. Oh my gosh. That's pretty much incredibly lame. You can still hear me, I'm assuming, yeah. Well, sorry, bro. I don't know what's going on with it, but I will tell you, man, it's very simple that they shot a laser across the lake. Okay. And you weren't supposed to be able to see it that far. Then he dropped it a little bit lower. That really sucks. I don't know how much y'all heard. Because Ben's a legend. He did a good job. So we're just going to watch it again once we figure out what's going on. What you got to say about that? Look, man, we shot a laser, bro. We're going to watch it again once we figure out what's going on. Oh, baby. Shut up. So, all right, dude. Basically, you can't really argue refraction, bro. It's super cold over ice. Good luck. Stop lying. The Earth isn't a ball, bro. No one cares, bro. Like it's not a big deal. I'm talking to a ton of people that have been coming at me here recently. So if you're in here lurking after coming at me, I'm talking to you, bro. Stop being so lame, bro, because all you're effectively doing is slowing down people from waking up to a really big lie. That's incredibly lame. Like, why would you do that? You were lied to too. It's like exhausting. Okay, it's already exhausting trying to tell everyone they've been lied to, and then you make it like way harder. Like when someone starts wanting to be real about it and like really look at it, you want to go latch them and grab onto them and prevent them from waking up to the fact that they were lied to about the earth that they live on. That's so insane to me, bro, because you should chill. Maybe you should unplug from the box too, bro. But you know, everyone has their right to decide. Like, it's so lame, bro. Gamma's everywhere. So chill with all being a gamma, bro. What is that gonna get you? You know what I'm saying? And like that's how they're attacking America, bro. They're making all the men gammas. Okay? And then they're making the women think that like being in a marriage sucks. And they're making all the men gammas. So we don't really, they don't want to marry y'all. Y'all are gammas. Like, y'all have got to chill, bro. Like, that's how they are attacking America, bro. The strength is in strong male leadership. Toxic masculinity, that's an oxymoron. That's retarded. No one cares about your nonsense words in clown world. Stop being a gamma. Stop attacking people because you think you're cool. And this little public aura you have on the internet, right? And, like, think you're all cool to, like, because you think consensus is something about how y'all know this earth is a magic spinning cartoon ball. It's like, it's retarded. It's like, how do you have a channel when you're debating a lot of people about the earth all the time and you don't even know the metrics of the earth, bro? Every flat earther knows all the metrics of the earth off the top of their head, of the supposed earth of y'all's religion. We all know it off the top of our head. That's insane. That's retarded. Everyone knows all of them. You don't even know them, but you know it's real. Like, how do people not see past that right there? If you start talking, okay, we know what the radius is, 3,959 miles. Oh, the circumference, 24,901 miles. It goes 66,600 miles per hour. Oh, 1,040 miles per hour east at the equator. Like, we know 500,000 miles per hour is what the sun shoots through as it carries us through all these simultaneous rotations and revolutions. But don't worry, nothing ever happens. And I promise there are little subatomic charge carrying bombardment of particles everywhere because everything is random. That's how you got here. It's random. That's the only way this could ever even make sense. What we're postulating about what we see in the sky. But we know we're spinning. We're a ball because we see lights in the sky and they kind of look like circles. It's like hard to even say all of the nonsense out loud. It's so retarded. It's a reification fallacy that keeps space even as a possibility. The theory of relativity, a reification fallacy. Okay, so say something. It's like they don't even respond to that. The theory of relativity is a reification fallacy. It attributed a property to a privation. Okay, that's retarded. And it doesn't matter how many scientists act like it's not retarded, bro. It is 100% retarded. It's stupid, bro. Space is a concept about nothing. Okay? So there you go. That's retarded. So if you're afraid, I guess, to like openly talk about how you think the earth is flat, because that's a big deal to some people, I guess, just ask people that. Someone acts like they're so smart, knows the Earth's a globe, okay, but the Earth is in this heliocentric model spinning through space at all these mystical, crazy speeds and revolutions and rotations and on an ellipse. When it changes directions, we still don't feel any of the change in direction because don't ask questions. It's just we have this crazy incestuous grabbler named Einstein who I promise he made this perfect little magic formula. And now we're all good. Come listen to this guy. Yeah, space is it's got a physical property, curved. Yeah, does that make sense? Right? So yes, this incestuous little grabbler, also known as Albert Einstein, decided to derail science with a reification fallacy, and that is like 5th, 6th grade comprehension level if you really break it down. So they had to come in with the wizards. Yeah. So who's the crazy person? Objectively, it's this dude. You feel me? This dude is a crazy incestuous grabber, bro. Yeah, this dude right here, because we were all told about him, and it's like it's a commonly used phrase. Okay, Einstein, like, bro, why, what? Why are we looking up to this dude, bro? It's important because we still do it. Like, why do people still impose all this nonsense? And so anyway, bro, what happens is, again, because of him, they start attributing physical properties to these little breaks in this line. It's not physical, man. If you strap something down to a trailer and have little breaks in it, the breaks would be what they call electrons. It's breaks. It's breaks in a line of induction of electricity, dielectricity specifically. Okay, so it's immaterial. It's a break in the field, the line of induction within the field. It's important to understand that because they have wireless power induction in a vacuum. Why is this little mystical deified subatomic charge carrying particle known as the electron not affected by the pressurized condition of a vacuum? If it's a physical particle, it would be affected, guys. That means modern science doesn't know what it's talking about. Yeah, we live in clown world. There's a ton of little dudes y'all call scientists who are running around stroking each other's ego with math. They're math magicians, and they're wandering off in little like fantasy worlds, and some people think they're really smart and they can't understand their math or understand even the nonsense they postulate, and they equate that and conflate that to being profound. And then the dumb people look to the people they think are smart who are also dumb. Now everybody's dumb. Everyone's believing in stupid things. And then they're attacking the smart people who are actually trying to figure out the truth because they can't think for themselves. Successfully completing clown world. Everything's backwards. It is clown world. These people really like get off on inversion. It is what it is. That's like their belief system. That's their doctrine. Inversion, bro. So if you want to unplug from the box, bro, just look at everything like, okay, what's the exact opposite? At least entertain it. All the big lies, they directly invert it. There's some kind of metaphysical advantage to doing it. It's pretty obvious. So the Earth looks like this, more than likely. And this green thing right here is the inertial plane, okay, and that would be the Earth. And then we have the toroidal field encompassing above and, of course, below it. As above, so below, which is, of course, one of their infamous sayings, as well as "Do as thou wilt." These little grabblers. Everybody knew it, bro. And these people were super advanced. Everyone in the world has always known it. So what am I missing? If you're a Christian, right, and you put any faith in anything that like Yeshua said or the Bible, I mean, the Bible says that it's stationary, bro, and doesn't move, and it's like a compass under like clay under a sill, and was drawn with a compass with a firmament stretched out over it. That's what it says. I don't understand how the Son of God could come down and not tell the whole world they were completely wrong about the earth. It's actually magical and spinning speck of dust. But whatever. That seems a little weird. I'm just saying that's a little weird. Everyone thought that it was flat, and Jesus didn't tell everybody, like, bro, it's not even flat. You know? And these people were super advanced. We've been lied to about what they had. Now they're trying to declassify the fact that we have been lied to. Think about how weird that is. The CIA, the government, is declassifying. This is crazy to me. The government is declassifying the information that the Vatican and the Smithsonian have suppressed. The Smithsonian, just the front company little updated version of what the Vatican was doing, right? Okay, they're hiding real history, and then they're declassifying parts about it, but it's all a lie about it still. That's why it's on national TV, bro. Ancient aliens is to brainwash you. This is their admittance that something way more than you know is the truth. Okay, they were just advanced. It's really not. That makes the scriptures make more sense. Everyone thinks that these flat earthers just like are flat earthers because of the Bible or something. No, everyone just ends up finding out that the earth is flat, and then they're like, okay, we don't even have very many available descriptions of the earth now. We've been completely lied to, and it's hard to even find information now. And then we go look at one of the sources of, the most historically accurate book that exists, the most historically accurate compilation that exists, factually. And it has some literal descriptions in there. So we, at the least, consider them. And then we do realize, wow, this thing was clearly way more accurate than what we've been told. So that's how that works. Every civilization knew, bro, because it's just the way it is. And I was saying all that because it makes it make more sense. There's nothing new under the sun. Master of deception. That would mean he's the best at it, right? But he couldn't deceive a human or all the humans, 90% of them now. I'm guessing, honestly, I look at it like, I bet you that 20% of people at least think it's possible the earth could be flat. 20%. There's probably so many people on the fence. And there's so many people that like get to where they're like, obviously it's flat, and then they back out. They get nervous, or they like second guess themselves, or they like go watch some propaganda to like convince themselves that it isn't flat. It's like, okay, like, why are you doing that to yourself, dude? Like they didn't hire you as a defense attorney to lie for them. It's like really kind of weird. It's like, bro, chill. So yeah, cool stuff, man. We were lied to, but it's all right, because now it's actually pretty exciting. We live in the time of things being revealed, and so now we know, like, it's very possible. There's just energy all over us, bro. It's encompassing us, and that's what the Fibonacci sequence is showing us. It's in everything. That means it's in everything. Okay, so it's in this. 9 is the center. Everything just makes more sense. Now, we've been lied to about the land, okay? So we don't know exactly where the land all is proportionately. We think we do, but we don't. We don't know exactly about the center of the earth, for starters. So, yeah. I think that's probably a pretty big deal, because it could be all kinds of things. I just don't even want to speculate that far. But as to like time and distance traveled, and the story goes you can't even go there, but the point is, we don't know what's there. Like, you can't just go there. That's the point. That's all you need to know, that there are some like weird lame little grabbler dudes that like play dress up in the dark and do mock sacrifices and stuff like that, makes them cool, and then they shake hands weird, and they just constantly keep secrets and rub their hands together. Ooh, little grabblers in the corner, always trying to subvert, right? Little gamma male secret kings. Okay, and they think they're cool because you don't know about the fact that they know some of the mystery school knowledge that goes all the way back. Esoteric belief system just means secret. Esoteric, occultic. They have a Gnostic belief system. And that's what the G is: Gnosticism, secret. It's all about secrets. It's all about inversion. That's all it is, bro. And it's real it's kind of creepy, bro. You know, and they think it's fun. Like, if you ever played the game Risk, bro, like they think that's what's going on, bro. It's just a giant game of Risk, bro. And instead of them rolling dice and fighting each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, they are just sitting there having conversations on how to control the whole thing. Yeah, so that's what it comes down to. And if you think that we shouldn't call them out and you want to make it hard for us to do it, you're like just real weird, bro. Like, you're kind of weird, dude. You know, because it's like, what the, you know, it's just crazy to me. And they were showing you this whole time, bro. They had to tell you everything. So there you go. It's really simple, man. We now live in the age where we have like physical proofs of things. Okay, boom. That observation isn't the first of its kind. That isn't the first time we've seen a horizon too far. Like, it's all retarded, dude. Like, think about this, man. Like, if you see way too far and you see a horizon that's way too far, the horizon is supposed to be a physical place where Earth drops off, bro. Okay, and we have math to figure this out. Based on the imposed radius, we can figure out where the horizon should be. Okay? So it's never there. How's that not weird? It is weird, bro. We have cameras now that outpace the lie, bro. It's important because you need to get people around you to wake up. And what it's really important is because kids need to wake up. So good luck trying to have a kid wake up and like their parents won't wake up. You need to suck it up, and we have to help fix the problem. And there's only one group of people that don't want us to figure out the truth, and it's the grabblers. It's the ones that they may employ, little wizards that run around, right, trying to like stop what our awakening. But that's just like hard to grasp. It's so lame. And I think some of these people, bro, it's not even like they're contracted by the government or something, which wouldn't be surprising, to be really honest about it. But I think that they just enjoy it. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, see, if you were going to try and hire someone, or like if you were the government going to try to employ someone to be on YouTube and fight against the flat earth, right? Because they know it's not enough to just censor it, in the sense that to make it harder to find it on YouTube. So they're going to put out their opposition platform, right? That's what they do. That's what InfoWars is. That's what Joe Rogan is. Okay, they're gatekeepers, bro. They make you think that you're getting the truth because you were getting lied to. Then that thing starts to evolve into lying to you more. Or really, that could be, you know, the time in which you're setting up like your little power move, because you don't care if they find out some of these lies, as long as they don't find out the main things. They don't know exactly where to look. So what you do is you go find out everything they won't talk about. Okay, they don't want you to know about the earth because there's some crazy stuff on this earth. And if you really think about just the earth in general, I mean, this right here, I won't even do it. Anyway, bro, yeah, if you think about the earth, everything on it is beautiful, bro, and you don't even know about everything that's here. Everything's beautiful. Think about like a waterfall. Like, just really think about like a waterfall. For one, like, how does a waterfall work, always going down on this ball that's like spinning? But anyway, waterfalls are dope, bro, and so are like mountains and all this crazy stuff, like the oceans, right? Like the world is just like crazy looking. Like, if you think about it, like if you really just think about what it looks like, it's like pretty wild. And we don't know about what all of it looks like. And the most important part that's being hidden is the center, right? So you're the center of the whole universe. You were lied to. The word universe is not even understood, so we shouldn't even use it, almost. You were lied to about the heavens and how they are proportionately laid out to you. and you're the center of it. So the Earth is the center of everything, bro. The star that's in the over the center of everything is Polaris. It barely moves a little bit in. It's the center of all of the stars. And if you know you're the center of everything, Polaris is the center of all the stars that's in the center of your existence. You go to the center of it to find out what's really there so you can fully understand everything, because it's going to continue all the way down. Because divinity is simplicity. Everything is perpetual. That's what the encompassing glue of everything is perpetual nature. That's what it is. So, yeah, this is what we got rocking, guys. The center is the North Pole, bro. All the compasses face north. When you travel east or west, bro, you just go turning relative to the compass that's facing north. So of course you go around the circle, and that's what it is. The Earth certainly appears to be a circle. It appears to be stationary, plane, magnetic, encompassing field. Free energy everywhere. All you need to harness energy is the natural things: water, earth, air. And they don't want you to know that. It's because there is an ether, and the ether is the universal background. The water in the pond, bro, like the absolute frame of reference. It's a force field. It has all kinds of energy in it. And that's what manifests in our perceptible reality, is different modalities of this ether field. Light is an ether perturbation modality. Okay, it's just a derivation of the ether. It's a disturbance in the ether that becomes perceived as illumination. So that's what it is. Everything is relative to the ether. They didn't want you to know that. They didn't want you to know that you had this gigantic energy field that pinnacles from the center. Or yeah, in and of, and then it goes out to the outside, and that's why it's ice and got high levels of salt towards the ice, because all of those are high in magnetic permeability, and of course inherently dielectric permittivity, right? Dude, those things are inherently related, bro. Like they're everywhere. They don't want you to know that. This is a magnet under ferrocell. It's a circular magnet, but just look at how it manifests. You think that this could just happen? Could this just happen with like randomness and virtual photons? No, dude. And this is the same type of manifestation of energy that exists all around the Earth. It all comes together and makes perfect sense, dude. Like they hid Tesla from you, man, because he was going to tell you this. He figured it out, dude. And all these globers, bro, like, okay, you're a glober if you're a douchebag about it. Like globe zealot. Like, dude, how can you actually be around the subject a lot and think it's still a ball? Like, that's crazy. Like, it's like painful to even entertain that. But anyway, because of the little crazy incestuous scrabbler dude, Albert, we can't even understand magnets, right? They say that it's virtual photons. Like, it's okay. What? Virtual photons. This is the kind of person that we're talking about. I want to know how God created this world. I want to know his thoughts. Well, that's too bad, Einstein, because you can't, bro. You little grabbler. Let's see here. See if I can try to play this video again. I don't really know what else to do. I'm gonna look at the chat like super quick though, so y'all can tell me if y'all hear it. Sorry about the first time, but I'm going to watch super fast this time. I'm pretty sure I got it. And then we'll be good to go, bro. Because you got to hear it, bro. All right. Y'all hit me pretty quick if y'all can't hear.
Hello, everyone. Today I decided I needed to get back to what I love, and that's proving that we live on a flat and stationary Earth. I sometimes make the mistake of getting caught up in pointless debates with sellouts and their mindless army of automaton trolls. But I'm back. This new proof of the flat Earth comes from Grota 1 from a frozen lake in Manitoba, Canada. I strongly encourage everyone to head over to the channel and subscribe to show your support, because he obviously went to a lot of effort for truth here. For this curvature test, Grota 1 essentially set 4 lights at around 1 foot above the water and ice. He set up his camera at about 8 miles away from the furthest light and 5 miles away from the closest light. The lights were spread out at about a mile apart. At each location, Grota 1 drilled down to the water just to confirm that he wasn't on some irregular ice formation, and to also ensure that his test was on a level surface. The furthest light from the camera was the red light at 8 miles from the camera. The blue light was at about 7 miles, the yellow was at 6 miles, and the orange light was the closest one at 5 miles away from the camera. You should definitely watch his video where he goes into much more detail, but here he is sitting in his truck at a distance of 8 miles from the red light. Notice that the lights are all on the same flat plane. There is no Earth bulge and no physical globe horizon. Next, Grota 1 lowered his camera to only 12 7/8 inches above the surface. At that small elevation, the globe horizon would have to be closer than 1.27 miles, and the furthest light, the red one, should have been 29 feet below the horizon. That's taking into account the 1 foot height of the light. Notice how the lights are all on the same flat plane. There's absolutely no supposed bulge here. And if there is no curvature on that frozen lake, then there is no Earth curvature anywhere. Look at the red light. That light should be 29 feet below the horizon. It's just amazing that they got away with this lie for so long. Finally, Grota 1 brought his camera down even lower to just 5 7/8 inches off of the ice. At this very low elevation, the red light would have to be a whopping 33 feet below the horizon. That's 34 feet minus the 1 foot height of the laser. Without question, the globe fails again. Furthermore, under the official model, the globe horizon would have to be closer than a mere 0.86 miles. There is no globe physical curve here blocking your view. As Grota 1 demonstrated on this frozen lake, regardless of the conditions, the Earth is observably, testably, repeatedly, and measurably flat. Yes, we were all lied to. Yes, they control our education. Yes, they control our media. Yes, they control our governments. Yes, they control all of our major institutions. But they still don't own your soul and your ability to think independently and to shake off the conformity and to break free from these mental controls. And that is how, with God's help, we can win. And we must win.
Boom. Again, that's my boy Taboo Conspiracy. Go show Ben some love if you somehow have not. Cool stuff, man. So I didn't mean to. I think I can still drag some of these windows over though. Well, yeah, I mean, pretty simply, bro. This is pretty cool. Why not just show it? I've been lied to about like everything, and people have known it forever. If you don't understand the nature of where we live, how can we ever fully optimize like our existence? It's that simple. So yeah, man, and a lot of information to suggest that they just made energy back in the day. It was no big deal, bro. Like, imagine living in a world where it was never even an idea of like you had to pay for electricity. That's retarded. It was just everywhere. It was just harnessable. You just pick up a light bulb, just pick one up. It's just a light bulb sitting there, and it will light up. Just the electric current runs through you. Yeah. All right. If you want them all together, there's no axial rotation. You cannot substantiate axial rotation. The claim of the globe Earth is that you spin on an axis. That cannot be substantiated. It's never been measured ever in the history of ever. It just literally can't be substantiated. That's pretty weird. Why do you believe in something that says you spin but has never been measured? It's never been substantially proven in any way because it can't be. We aren't moving. That's not weird. That's never been measured. That's weird. It's also weird that people will come argue that it has been, which means that scientists had to accept these experiments as proof that it was spinning, which shows you a concerted effort to lie about it spinning, which brings you to the next point. Why would you lie if it really is spinning, bro? Pretty simple. They'll say Foucault's pendulum. No, dude, no. It doesn't have an independent frame of reference. That's retarded. It's from 1851. The fact that that's still what people use to say it's a proof is from 1851. And one of the main leading proponents, lead religious leaders that they look up to is this guy. And long after 1851, he was saying this. So I've come to believe that the motion of the earth cannot be detected by any optical experiment. 1922. Why would you bring up something from 1851 that doesn't even have an independent frame of reference? It's dumb. Okay. And if you did see the debate, he wouldn't even concede that. That's wizardry, bro. That is textbook wizardry. So I don't want to just bury him some more, but it's like, damn, bro, I got attacked after that debate. I was like, I was trying to be chill. I think I could have slaughtered him. The theory of relativity is a reification fallacy that attributed a property to a privation. Nothing can exist in space. I don't even have to talk to you about if space could exist. You can't even understand it or explain it in any formatable way or formidable way without some nonsense. It's retarded. And space can't exist. It can't exist. The necessary antecedent, which means what is needed. The necessary antecedent. I was saying necessary or natural. Both are true. Okay. Necessary antecedent for gas pressure is containment. Physical containment. Everything we've ever seen in the world coincides with that claim, that statement, that interpretation. Okay. So all observable phenomena, all of it says that you have to have a physical container for there to be gas pressure. So globe zealots are claiming that isn't true. So this person, he cite where someone says it has to have it. It's in the word pressure, bro. Press up against what? Press up against a container because it needs a container. You can't provide one example. You can't provide one example without a physical container. That's weird. Wouldn't concede that. It's like, dude, you could just say that the only time it ever happened was space, and I can't really explain it. That would be a concession, but that would be okay, right? If you'd at least be honest and you wouldn't necessarily just lose right there, I guess. Well, kind of you do, but like, how do you just not, you can't say anything? Like, just, it's retarded. It's crazy because I can't really decide, but I think he might be a pretty nice dude. But what I'm saying is, like, people will just go on loop before they admit, and that's different. He's in the debate, but people do that. That like people watched it, agreed with him, and then came and like attacked me saying I was retarded. I'm like, okay, what? Can you answer the questions that the dude you're defending couldn't? Like, it's not a big deal. What do I get out of this, bro? I'm trying to wake you up, bro. It isn't like really the most like perfect, convenient career path, which, you know, it's not that this is my career, but it would affect future employment. Yeah. So, and unless we can actually do something, like, it's sad, bro. Like, professors don't even want to come out. You don't think there's any professors that know that the earth is flat, bro? There are top level astrophysicists that know the earth is flat, and they'd rather lie to themselves, or at least pretend to believe that there's still all this nonsense space because they built their whole career on it. Okay. You think really smart people don't put together that the flat earth thing isn't like a haha, you're stupid? Isn't that proof also? If they're telling you that flat earth is so retarded that you shouldn't even think about it or talk about it, it's not even worthy of a discussion, then why are there all these debates and Neil deGrasse Tyson won't debate about it and a bunch of smart people think it? Well, that doesn't really make sense. That doesn't really make sense. Are you going to lie and live in your bubble where you think only stupid people think the earth is flat, and then you go talk to some flat earthers? They know all about your religion. They have crazy intellectually, you know, adept conversations. They're way beyond you even understanding what's going on, and there's a bunch of smart people that think it because we researched it. So it's not just like smart people think it. Smart people researched it for years and then publicly vocalized that they know the earth is flat, and they had to fight through all of the pressures of societal ostracism that may have slowed them down. That's weird. Like, how is that not? The point is, bro, I guess you may not be following me. Why would they lie? Why would they portray it like it's not even worthy of a discussion? And smart people know that isn't true. It's just like when people act like the ether doesn't exist. Michael Smalley has proved it. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. No. And scientists know there could be the ether. They just don't want to say it, bro. You think they don't know it? And some of them do say there's an absolute frame of reference, and that's pretty obvious. There's an absolute frame of reference that has movement due to the energy within. It's really not a big deal. All the lights make the same circle. That's impossible. If geocentricity is not true, I would have to agree. I would have to say, yeah, bro, tell me, explain that. Explain that. Actually, let's do this. Let's do this, bro. Bunch of old maps. All right. I've done this before, but I just think, okay, this is the magnetic flux over the earth. This is the sky over the earth. And to remind you, the center has always been there. It's always the center. It barely moves a little bit to the center, and everything revolves around it and resets every year. That literally couldn't happen. That couldn't happen. That's how the brainwash works, bro. Okay, this right here couldn't happen. It couldn't happen. Couldn't happen. I'm sorry. So, how do people not understand it? I guess I'll break that all the way down, maybe. Okay, if we are this tiny speck of dust, it's pure random. It all came from nothing, right? Okay, they can't even explain it. There's the Kepler's laws, application of gravitational waves due to proportionate mass, and the orbital trajectories derived from the nonsense that is warped space-time and curved space. It only works in the solar system, only locally. That's all, the only place it works, because we came up with it based on that. So that means nothing. It literally means nothing. Okay, and then it doesn't work anywhere else. Okay, so if that means nothing because you just came up with it based on what you saw, so you could only make it after what you saw, and it doesn't work anywhere else, and it's claiming to be a proportionate law, it is wrong. Okay, so then they come up with dark matter. It's still wrong, and that's retarded and undefined. Dark meaning we don't know, matter meaning everything's material, right? Matter, material, but it's not. We just discussed the electron is not even a thing, bro. It's a break in a line of induction. They don't know what they're talking about. Quantum science is retarded. Quantum mechanics is retarded. It's retarded objectively, right? Flawed based presuppositions. it can only be retarded. Now, of course, there is inherent value. We get some information that comes from experimentation. That's the only thing it's good for. And they're obviously not like efficiently like performing experiments because they don't even know what they should be looking for or how to understand any of what's going on around them. They think, okay, this is a physical particle. Well, let's see what happens. It's retarded. No, it's not. It's not. It's all part of this very harmonic existence. See, you see how they had to hide them both from you. If you knew that there was an ether, a universal background, absolute frame of reference in which everything is slightly being hugged, if you will, but it's like super, 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 super slight. Okay, and it works like a bunch of pulley systems. And really, the idea of how it would ever manifest into matter is like little bitty, Tesla said, infinitesimal worlds of prodigious velocity, or whatever, bro. We just little worlds of the ether, like high velocity little worlds. That's all it means. Infinitesimal, prodigious worlds of velocity, right? It just means that it spins real tight and small, and it makes matter. Okay, and if the movement was to ever cease, then it would revert back into the ether. Of course, there's something about that involves divinity. But if you knew just how incredibly perfect and related to everything that this ether field was, and how it has a slight drift over the earth, it appears they never were testing for it correctly. And I do believe it is because they were on a horizontal axis, but of course, the magnetic toroidal field is not doing that. So if they had it tilted up, they've got a better read, bro. If they had tested the perpendicular rays on the vertical axis, they would have got a better read. Okay, and there is a slight drift. There was a window of error. The fact that people think Michelson-Morley helps the globe is retarded, because then you combine it with Michelson-Gale, and literally it refutes the globe. Okay, and so they come up with all kinds of nonsense through these little grabbler games, and they give you this liar that married his first cousin and then wanted her daughter. It's really weird, but yeah, he threw it off. We deify this dude. We hide the smart guy that would tell us the truth about everything. So whatever, dude, it's all a lie. That's it. That's no one's fault. That is someone's fault, but it's not our fault that we tell you. I guess I had to kind of get all this out a little bit, bro. With all these little gammas, bro, they want to go crazy attacking me, bro, and it's like, obviously I don't care what some little gamma has to say, bro. It's about like, it's exhausting, right? Like, I have to sift through your nonsense, dude, to try to talk to people that are genuine and really want to know that we've been lied to about the shape of the earth. Everyone in the world always knew the earth was flat forever, until recently, like the 20th century type recent. No, when they tell you 4,000 years, 2,000 years, 500 years, not really. No one thought that. Everyone still knew the earth was flat, like up into the 20th century. That's the truth. Okay? You were lied to. How did Universal Studios know it would look like this magical cartoon CGI ball that they ended up showing us was real way before the fact? How could they possibly know that? They wouldn't. It's all a lie. It's retarded. I'm going to come talk to y'all now. Bring up some topics or whatever. The earth is flat. Off the top, super clever with the facts. Boom, smash the Rogans up. Smash the Rogan up. Help us break the algorithms. If you don't know, it's called the Rogan's Up because it's the thumb up, and it's because Joe Rogan looks like a human thumb. And side note, that's pretty valuable. He is a little grabbler sodomite that wears bedazzles on his jeans, and is a gatekeeper that gets his talking points from Assad, allegedly. Well, CIA, tomato. Someone probably contracted that told him. I don't know, but he knows what he's allowed to say, and that's his job. Joe Rogan's job is to make you think that he's not afraid to talk about anything underneath the guise of comedy, which is really what comedy is supposed to be. That's what real comedy is, saying whatever, making it a joke. It's actually like crucial to a society because it helps break the tension with like hard to swallow truths. But anyway, Joe Rogan makes you think he's talking about the truth, but Eddie Bravo comes on there, and that's pretty wild. I will say that, but I don't watch Joe Rogan because he looks like a human thumb. There's way too long talking about his little, grabbler self, but smash the Rogans up to help break the algorithm. I see 3 types of people in this world: people who know they're evil and embrace the evil, people who turn a blind eye to the evil happening around them, and then there's the people who seek truth. I hear you. I agree with you. Got to call out the wizards, and more importantly, got to slay them. Got to slay the wizards. Half of teachers are totally oblivious in general, even to mainstream knowledge. I used to run the food program for a school. It was eye-opening dealing with them. The little pyramid that came from the government was designed to make you sicker. Everything's a lie, clown world. They taught you a globe in school, and it isn't a globe. And then you were like, what? How? What about the people on the bottom? 5-year-old you thought it was nonsense, and they're like, oh, it's there's this force that holds you to the ground, and it's called gravity. What is that? What? How's it work? We don't know because we made it up, and it doesn't exist. It isn't a force. Retarded. It isn't a force. Okay, gravity isn't necessarily made up. Like the idea of gravity, like if you look at electromagnetic and gravitational analogy by Oliver Heaviside, like gravity's like it's negligible, bro. It's like basically non-existent, and it's not autonomous, bro. It's just an effect. That's all it is. Its existence is dependent objectively, bro. So I don't know what y'all are talking about saying that it's this super strong force. It isn't. It isn't bending oceans. You know how much oceans would weigh? You bend the oceans to stick to the ball that's spinning and shooting through space. And anyway, this super negligible effect is causing moons to revolve around different planets. The moon's revolving around Earth because of this gravity that's negligible. That's retarded. It's all a lie. And if you also understand that gravity is nothing more than incoherent dielectric acceleration, incoherent magnetism, everything's magnetic, but some things are super, super incoherent. So it's worthless in the sense of magnetism that you've been lied to and not even taught correctly about, and people don't even understand the word. And modern science at the top level calls it virtual photons. Everything is dielectric, electrostatic, so everything is electric. And that means that everything has a magnetic permeability level or a magnetic nature that can, I don't even like the word quantified at all because it's complete nonsense, and that's what's got us in this situation. But anyway, can be, observed based on its coherency level, and then you know what's going on with the material, okay? Everything is electric. Everything is dielectric, and you were lied to about it. And the point is, if you understand that gravity is incoherent dielectric acceleration, 9.8 meters per second squared, yeah, that's what's up. That's cool, bro. That's just a metrical representation of an effect of downward acceleration. We don't care. You don't even know that probably. So please, stop saying the word gravity. It's retarded. It's ridiculous, bro. Like, it's your little magic word. Are you trying to be a wizard? Maybe that's part of the wizardry, is to get everyone going around being wizards without even know that they're being wizards. I just put it together. That's definitely what's going on. They got you going around here saying spells, saying curse words, right? Which I say curse words. I'm just saying that the fact that it is called curse, I wouldn't be surprised if there is some history behind the different words that we call that. I don't know. Written in cursive. I don't really know. I don't know. Maybe it's just the idea of the way we're communicating has the word curse in it just so they can use it. Or maybe they have to tell you to your face they've set the language up for it to be full of curses. That sounds about right. So yeah, everyone is just going around casting spells on people and performing wizardry because they themselves were tricked by the wizardry. But the master wizards, which that's what they think they are, but they're a bunch of little gamma grabbers, right? They sit back after getting everyone to do it, and then you go around and you're doing it for them. People don't even know it, right? Like the gravity, like if someone doesn't really know much about this conversation, and then you were to talk to them when they mentioned that they heard about flat earth, and then you know a little bit more and you start to say gravity a lot when you know that's like the cop-out answer, you're brainwashing them with magic, bro, because gravity's nonsense. It's nothing more than effect. It's negligible. It's nothing more than incoherent dielectric acceleration, downward acceleration. It's an effect. It's super weak. Again, it is negligible. Okay, and we understand that dielectricity has a natural magnetic flip side of the same coin, correct? Okay, so if they claim that this core is this gigantic, super hot core of magma, then it would never work as being super strong when it comes to pulling something, because as something gets hotter, it loses its magnetic permeability. It loses its ability to be magnetic. It loses its coherency, so it would never get stronger because it was hot, and it's retarded, and it's clown world, and everything's about inversion. It scientifically doesn't make sense. We have observations that we can show that all the Earth is a magnet, bro. It's just incoherent. It's the inertial plane within this toroidal field, okay? Everything that goes down to the earth is negligible. It's just, there's density, and then involved in that density is the known fact, which should be known at the least, that whatever's falling and has the density has an electrostatic nature. So inherently, it's going to have some kind of a relationship with all of the encompassing medium, right, which is the air and the ether. So there you go. That's what it is. And when you don't understand it, you don't understand anything. It's no big deal. Everything's magnetic. It's that simple. Everything's magnetic in dielectric or electrostatic. Everything is electrostatic. Electrostatic has the flip side of it. Okay? A dielectric field is going to make magnetism as we interpret it, but there's incoherent magnetism. That's what people need to understand. Coherency is like, concentration. So magnitude due to concentration, or maybe that's a good way. So anyway, coherency comes from, like, if you want to make a magnet, you strike it with electricity and it lines up all the molecular makeup of that object. It lines it up. The gyroelectric molecular makeup of that object lines up in the same direction. And now it's coherent. Now that little 4-ounce magnet picks something up. Everything's about coherency. That's what it's all about. It's that simple. Everything that falls to the sky or falls to the ground is typically incoherent. It's all about the density. The rest is an effect. It's an afterthought. It's irrelevant. So yeah, there you go. Accept it or don't. It is what it is. Gravity's nonsense. It shouldn't even be talked about. And yet it's like a constant cop-out. Okay, right, like in the debate, I'm like, okay, the natural antecedent to gas pressure is physical containment, right? We've covered that. It's just what it is, bro. I didn't make the world, But then you're like, okay, I get shown a video where this person goes to a higher altitude and the pressure gets lower. Okay. Oh, look up here. We got the 0.26, whatever. That's really low pressure. Low what? It's got pressure there, bro. It's still got pressure. There's pressure above it. If you keep going higher, it's going to keep getting lower. So that's not where the pressure ends. Pressure, it's going to press on something if you keep going up. How high is it? I don't know. That isn't what's going on here. I'm asking you, how could your little space ball even exist? It can't, because of basic laws of the natural world. That is the real truth. Okay. So then they say the magic word. That is nothing. We just covered that, right? Gravity. No. And that doesn't make sense. Gradual dissipation into a vacuum. There's no such thing as a perfect vacuum, but there's still a few hydrogen atoms per cubic meter, but it would be a vacuum. Okay, well, based on your own nonsense science and nonsense model, tell me how the vacuum could exist linear to the pressurized system that is the Earth. It couldn't. Okay, the Earth is a closed dynamic system. The gas pressure requires its necessary antecedent, a physical container, a physical barrier. Everything in the world ever shows you that. Okay, so all you have to do to challenge that assertion is provide one experiment that shows it. And I'll go ahead and give you a heads up. If you try to show someone this little container with walls without a top on it that can hold some gas, that's still a container. Okay, you need a physical container for everything. That's just the way it works. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't make sense. But you have to know the deeper implications, bro, and then it's so easy to see through all the wizardry. You just have to understand that's what it is. It's wizardry. So they invert the truth. Okay, all gas pressure needs a physical container. You're protected. This is enclosed. It's a closed dynamic system. No, it's all pure random happenstance, and it dissipates into a vacuum gradually. But don't worry, gravity and everything is chaotic and crazy, and you could die at any moment. There might be an asteroid tomorrow. It's a lie, clearly crafted and inverted, the exact opposite of the truth. That's what everything is. So there you go. I'm going on some rants, but I had some real gammas coming at me, bro. And I don't know if that I want to keep doing these debates because I'm still tired thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? And I actually am kind of tired, but not because of that. Just been up. From elementary school to college physicists are brainwashed. That's pretty crazy. You're told a ball from the jump. That's retarded. Oh, I'm way up here. No, I'm not. There is no physical curvature. Exactly. If you lived on a ball, like there is objectively not any physical curvature. Okay, we see too far all the time. We see horizons past frame of reference of distance. Right, so we have frame of references that provide us a distance in which we see horizons far beyond that, but we don't see another horizon. The only horizon you ever see is an apparent horizon. I don't think people understand this. This is like, it blows my mind, bro. It blows my mind. Like, okay, we're going to use this real high picture. We'll come back. All right, look. We see a horizon right here, right? Okay, it's where the sky appears to meet the ground. The horizon isn't actually there. Okay? It's just apparent. An illusion. That's all it is. That's all that it ever is. Ever. Ever. And bro, for years, when people knew already that the earth was flat as they were waking up, people started to know for the last however many, 5, 6, probably some people more years. All we've heard is that the earth, or that boats disappear from the bottom up because of the curvature of earth. That's real. I've been told that a ton, okay? Like a ton. We all have. We all have. Really take this in, because if you still think the earth is a ball after this is really laid out for you, I don't even know what could be done for you, right? Like, let the dead bury the dead. Okay, so for years and years, we would go out as flat earthers actually trying to observe things. The flat earthers would go out and they would make observations. We would see way too far. We'd come back and we'd provide our evidence, right? We'd be like, the earth is clearly flat. Look at us. We always are seeing too far. We see too far all the time. The earth can't let us see this far because there's curvature, right? And the curvature math of 8 inches per mile squared is accurate up to 1,000 miles. So when Globers tell you it's not, they're like freaking out, right? Because they're defending their religion, because that's retarded. It actually factually is. So within 1,000 miles, because of a parabola, you get 8 inches per mile squared. That is an accurate depiction of what the average curvature should be around this ellipsoid that is the earth, the spherical ball, okay? That's just the way that it is. So when you, for example, take the radius deduced from the circumference and diameter, right, and it's 3,959 miles, and then you can deduce the geometric horizon, geometric meaning the geometry, obviously, and then you get
a physical location that you know the ball has to be no further than. It cannot be further than it. You understand? And also with the curvature, what I'm saying is we went out, we saw way too far. Okay, we came back. We were like, guys, 8 inches per mile squared. You can't, we see too far all the time. Globers would always say that it's refraction. It's refraction. It's refraction. Yeah, you see the whole entire Chicago skyline perfectly exactly where it's at, but it's a superior mirage. No, mirages invert or distort or both, bro. What are you talking about? That's not how this works. Okay, it would be all inverted. It wouldn't be like that. It'd be super messed up. It isn't a superior mirage. We saw it, right? And we're trying to tell these people, dude, we see too far. We see too far. Look at these buildings. We shouldn't see them. There should be this huge hump of the earth where we can't see over it, right? It shouldn't be there. All the globers, refraction, refraction, refraction. And I've been spammed by globe zealots with so many pictures and memes of the boat disappearing from the bottom up, or there being like a video or two memes together with two still shots from a video where, you know, like it's close, the horizon's super close, and they're like, this is the Earth's curve. They showed me and thousands of flat earthers hundreds of times that the boat disappeared over the curvature of the Earth. The physical curvature of the Earth was obstructing the boat. That's what almost all these globe zealots said for years. Okay, we're now getting observations that are disproving that the geometric horizon could even theoretically be in the picture. Okay, it's not even possible. It's not close at all. Okay, now the globe zealots position is that you never see the geometric horizon. You have to. Game over. The debate is over. It literally isn't a debate. You have to see it. You have to see it. You have to see it. It's a physical hump in the earth, bro. No one's trying to hear your nonsense. No one. I'm not. It's retarded. It's obvious that it's flat. That's why we see it the way that we see it. This is objective at this point. You just aren't seeming to understand it. If a boat disappears over the water, the boat disappears over the horizon, right? Well, we can zoom in on it, and then we can see the boat again. This proves that the boat disappeared because our naked eyes had a limit of perspective. That's why we were able to bring it back. It didn't actually disappear. We just couldn't see it anymore. Eventually, it reaches the perspective limit of the optical zoom of whatever device you're using, and it goes back over the horizon. Okay, definitively proving the first one was a apparent horizon, and it disappeared out of view optically because of our limit of perspective. Okay, boat provably leaves our view because of limit of perspective. We bring it back with binoculars or a telescope or P900. Okay, cool. That's cool. We prove that that's what would happen. We prove that if you see the boat, it will appear to go over the horizon once it reaches your limit of perspective, right? We've seen it happen, and then you easily prove that's what happened by zooming in on it. Okay, so we know that's an apparent horizon that'll make it look like the boat disappears over the ball, or just disappears away from you. Okay, not over a ball. So that's not ever what happens, ever. Okay, and then all these people will say that it's disappearing because of the ball, even though we prove that it looks like it disappears because of it going away, and then you zoom it in, it's still there. Okay, now we find observations where we have mile markers, distance frame of references that show horizons way behind it, and there's no geometric horizon. There's no physical horizon. How can you be so dumb that you can believe that religion still? You think, okay, there's got to be some explanation because I know the Earth's a ball. That's retarded. No, there isn't a physical edge there ever. Now, globe zealots and people that are like debating and defending this religion are saying you never see the physical edge of the Earth. You never see the physical horizon of the ball. I thought that's what was blocking this stuff the whole time. That's what y'all been saying this whole time for years. If you can't see or grasp the magnitude in that, what can really be done? People were running around lying this whole time as their main proof that our observations didn't count. And now they have to concede you never see the physical horizon that is necessitated by their religion of heliocentrism and the spherical Earth. That's pretty wild, bro. If you really take that in, the globe is super dead. The globe is so dead, bro. And they tell you stuff like Jupiter, a gas planet, exists in a vacuum. No, it doesn't. That's retarded. So retarded. Dude said, oh, it's just because of the gravity. Like he's schooling me or something. Like you don't even understand gravity. You know what I'm saying? And so the gravity of the gas is holding the gas. Shut up, bro. Like, what are you? It's like they just laugh at you, you know? And that's because of the proportionalities of the bodies they need. And it's all just nonsense. It's all retarded, bro. So there you go. There you go. I'm sorry that I'm tired, but I kind of am. But everything looks better on the flat Earth. Everything resets over the flat Earth annually, and it always has for thousands of years. And that would never happen with all these random movements and motions and rotations and revolutions. It just wouldn't happen, bro. It's kind of stupid. It kind of hurts my head to even think about it at this point once you know the truth. Here's an observation. We see way too far, right? I think we've all seen this. Yeah, dude, that's way too far. That's what that is. Boom. This is a lie. Oh, look at that. 273 miles away. Horizon. Horizon's rising, bro. It's got this mystical number by Lucifer all over it, but no one thinks it's a big deal. I must be tripping. This is more like what it really looks like. We need to learn to understand what magnetism is, but we aren't allowed to do that, right? Because the elite growlers get to decide what you do. Trying to find. I saw earlier HRH where you said what you do one on the elite. And yeah, I mean I've kind of already done that. But I guess I haven't in like detail, but I will. Wait, a little brief. This is I don't know, dude, I don't know how I feel about this, man, but this is something to look into, but you have to know how to exercise discernment, man. So that's what I'll say. Maybe, like, for example, certainly if you're going to read his book, Morals and Dogma, but there's this dude named Albert Pike, 33rd degree Freemason, very prominent dude, Morals and Dogma, and a few other things that he wrote are super pivotal and important to the belief system of the elites. So yeah, that's a place to look. And also, I guess real fast, just so you know, of course, we've all seen this Freemasonic symbol. These are the people that orchestrated the lie about the earth. I just want y'all to understand that's obviously what happened. That's why you got this. Come on, man, get real. I'll show y'all. So Albert Pike, 33rd degree Mason, wrote Morals and Dogma. Talks about the Luciferian doctrine, how to be brought out in the middle around the world. Statue of him in Washington, D.C., just the capital of your country. No big deal. Anyway, yeah, so this right here is the Masonic symbol. We've all seen it. The G stands for Gnosticism, and it also doubles, in my opinion, as geometria. That actually might be the original most important one. I think Gnosticism is the primary belief system. It is the esoteric belief, the Gnostic belief, the mystery schools that date all the way back. Anyway, this G also could represent geometria, and that means the measurement of the earth. And of course, we see that they got a compass and a square and The Bible says that he drew. See, you can't find the truth anymore. Like in a free world right now, if I type this in, I should just get what I typed in, bro. Like we all know exactly what's going on here, and I can guarantee you when we even get them this way. Just expose these little grabblers live time. Look, it's already freaking out. Tremble before him, all the earth. The world is firmly established, cannot be moved. It actually showed it on Google. That's wild. Yeah, but they can definitely say this is just a religion, right? They told everyone this is just like a stupid religion fairy tale book. But yeah, there you go. Isaiah 40:22, he sits enthroned above the circle of the earth, and his people are like grasshoppers. He stretches out the heavens like a canopy and spreads them out like a tent to live in. Yeah, he spreads out the northern skies over empty space. He suspends the earth over nothing. He marks out the horizon on the face of the waters for a boundary between light and darkness. Yeah. Space, quote unquote. The heavens. Yeah. For he views the ends of the earth and sees everything under the heavens. All I'm saying, bro, is it's worth entertaining maybe what they say, just to get an idea. At least we can get an idea, because ancient civilizations knew way more about the earth, that's for sure. Can you join him in spreading out the skies hard as a mirror of cast bronze? It sounds like you can get through it. Everything's inverted, bro. Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. Yeah, cool, bro. I don't remember. I was trying to show you a certain one. I thought I'd recognize it, but I didn't. Freemasons, bro. Gnosticism. That's the belief of the secret knowledge that you share on. They run the situation that we call the world. It's a stage. That's no big deal, bro. But they could not resist. They could not resist. I knew it would still pop up. Throwing their little belief system on the dollar bill. Now this is wild, like a lot of people are starting to realize this now. And I mean, like anyone younger has known this like for a really long time. It's not a big deal at all. It's almost like a joke, but I'm saying some people didn't even know what this meant. Like the older generations didn't know the significance of this. And this is why I think there's a disconnect between the older and younger generations. Like our whole generation knows that what this is, right? This means New World Order underneath it in Latin. Okay, and this is the all-seeing eye, the top of the pyramid. It's the people that run things. There are people just now figuring that out. But what are you going to do, man? That's why it's on the back of your dollar bill. That's a fiat currency that comes from the Federal Reserve, which is a private company that is on a private island that doesn't adhere to U.S. laws and prints off fake paper money backed by their word, which, of course, they do have a ton of tangible resources. And then they charge interest on this loan of paper money that your labor and belief in is what creates the value. So we pay interest for money that we got loaned that's paper based on all of our labor and compliance. And they just sit there and rake it in. And on that paper money, they got us dancing around, doing hours, putting over our family, not getting enough sleep, working for something that we hate, not really ever chasing our dream, and dancing like little monkeys that they told us that we were. This doesn't affect them at all. All they do is immediately get tangible wealth with whatever interest money that they get. And then they put on the little paper money that's got you running around their very plan. New World Order. The eye represents Lucifer, light bearer. It's about becoming illuminated once Lucifer enlightens you. You get to the 32nd degree, you got to be chosen and invited and accepted and voted on, I believe, to get into the 33rd degree. When I say I believe, I'm like quite positive that's what happens, just like I know that they have really weird rituals. Am I not supposed to talk about it? Austin, be careful. They're going to come and get you if you talk about it. Oh, man, why are you exposing them? Because they suck, bro. That's why. And no, I don't have to worry about them at all. They're lame. Bunch of gammas. No one cares. maybe y'all should find out that God's real, because that changes everything. You don't have anything to fear. So you do what's right, bro, and you seek logos, you represent logos, your intuition is going to tell you what's right, bro, and that's because you're made in the image of God, whether you like it or not. Okay, and so if you ignore your intuition, or if you train your subconscious to manipulate your intuition, then what can I do for you, bro? You know, you need to let go. You need to unplug from the box. You need to understand that God's real. You need to swallow your ego. You need to seek the truth. You have to fully seek the truth about God. Like, we live in a time where all religions are super corrupt. So you're going to have to truly seek the truth. And then you're going to find out there was this very, very prominent dude, and his name was Yeshua, and he was hidden from you, but he couldn't be completely hidden. So the devil knew the smart way was to represent the acknowledgement of him in a certain way that was easier to get you sidetracked and tricked, and to make you not really even know what's going on. And that's pretty much what modern Christianity is. That's certainly what the Roman Catholic Church is. And it's actually typically all set up to be blasphemous and to make people be super religious and judgmental, and to completely reflect the Sadducees and the Pharisees in the Bible that Yeshua was actually against. And so it's all been crafted. And what makes it weird is, like, if it's lie, why do you try so hard to lie about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's all fake, that's retarded. Like, if it's all fake, you just give them their religion. You don't have to do anything. You would just give them the religion. The religion would brainwash them. You would put in the religion that you need to be complicit with certain things, and it certainly does seem that was put in there when it comes to the state. But at the same time, they have a concerted effort that's very provable and trackable to lie about it. So that's weird. Okay. And then the people that think that they do know about this dude, they don't even understand the Old Testament with any context. And that's all just to say that basically religion sucks, and that's got something to do with all of this. And whether you like that or not, I don't know what to tell you. And these people have a religion, and that is their esoteric Gnostic belief of Luciferianism. They believe they are a god. They believe everything was inverted. They believe everything's inverted. They believe that Lucifer is actually the good guy that's trying to help you out, and he's their god, and that guy's the devil. He's the sinister person that put you in this earth and kept you entrapped. And when the truth is, they came down on their own, bro. Like, they chose to come down here, bro, because they couldn't help it, right? They were able to see God, and they just weren't cool with it. They wanted more, and they were selfish and wanted more attention, if you will, for themselves. And so they came down here, bro. I know that sounds kind of crazy to a lot of people, bro. Bro, all the evidence points to that, bro. All of it, bro. Like, all of it. So you have to deny the evidence. Something like that happened. Okay. And the reason I feel I have to talk about it is they lied about the earth because of that. Because they are going to come tell you that it was aliens. So if people think, oh, he talks about God too much or whatever, don't care, bro. I do what I feel I'm supposed to do and tell you what's important. And what's important is they're going to come lie to you about the true story, bro. They're going to tell you aliens came down back in the day. And if you don't already know that or haven't heard of that, then come on. And if you have heard of that and you believe that's a very high likely possibility, you have been successfully propagandized and brainwashed. That is a lie. The reason that we know it's a lie is because we do research and we find out, well, for one, we know that Operation Mockingbird has been declassified and the government is behind the media. Literally, the CIA is behind the media. Factually, provably, Operation Mockingbird. Okay, so if the media is coming out with the mainstream media corporations that own all of the media, which obviously means that they're hand in hand with the CIA. If you haven't put that together, the elite is the CIA, is the country's government. Okay. And then they lied to you about this. They're telling you that there are aliens on national TV that came way back in the day. The CIA. And that's been on TV for like 10 years. They're setting it up, bro. I saved some memes on my phone. I wish I could show y'all. So it's important. It's important.
It should all come back to this because it's important. So that's why I always bring it back. This looks like much more like, dang, I can't even show it the way I want to. There's got to be a way to change the size of the picture that comes up, right? So, yeah, bro, just take it in. Like back in the day, they were super advanced. Everyone knew the Earth was flat. Everyone knew the Earth had something like this on it. Okay, this is what the way the Earth worked. Everyone knew it. Everyone knew that, bro. It's really not a big deal. Okay, so everyone knew that the Earth was flat. Everyone knew the Earth worked like that. Everyone knew that the star people came down. They represented them and wrote about them in different ways. Most of them revered the offspring of them, the star people, as gods. So you think that you know everything. You think you know there's no God. You think that you're super smart. You think that humans are at the like peak of their existence, that no humans have ever been close to you. And that's laughably wrong, bro. There used to be crazy creatures that were revered as gods. The world was totally different. They would laugh at the fact that you think that you've seen a lot of stuff, bro. Like, mythologies are history. Okay, the paintings and the hieroglyphics are history, bro. They lie to you about it. That means they're literal. Yes, they're literal. Get over it. Okay, get over it. I'm crazy. No, dude, no. You're crazy if you think that the super advanced civilizations that could build things that we still can't understand or replicate were primitive at the same time. No. All evidence shows us, bro, there were giants. Okay, there were giants. All civilizations said the star people came. The government's going to come with the government-controlled media, which is just a gigantic psyop, and tell you that aliens are the ones that did it. If you don't unplug from the box before they unroll whatever the entirety of their plan is, you will be deceived. It has been prophesied there will be a great deception. I don't necessarily think everyone needs to be deceived, though. That's one of those things that made me think, like, I don't know. That's what they would want you to think, though, right? That you had no chance and everyone would be deceived. Well, we should wake people up, so maybe not everyone will be deceived, or at least we can reach some people. It is coming. I can guarantee you they are going to roll out a very detailed plan to brainwash you. It's going to go something like maybe create some chaos to bring the order in underneath the guise of these aliens. Who knows? But they are definitely... And dude, what if it comes with the red pill of the Earth? You know, like what if these aliens come and tell us that these governments have lied to us about the shape of the Earth, and then we get to see the middle or something? Oh, everyone's in now. Everyone's brainwashed. All I'm saying is it appears that way. But no, probably not. They won't tell us about the Earth because they need space. So yeah, take that back. There's no way. I mean, I guess it could somehow, and they could be like, we made the flat Earth or something. I don't know, but nah, probably not, bro. They want you to think you're a ball because that means you can go way out into crazy distances, and that's all these people are. That's what's gonna happen. But hey, all come together, and we'll have this new world order. And you are just a primitive version of us, you know, but come together underneath love and understanding. Follow us, and we will teach you how to take your next step in spiritual evolution. It's all about love. We're going to unify the monetary system, the financial system, and the religious system all under one, uniform composition of control and monolith of ideals. And y'all will become enlightened, and y'all will take the next step in y'all's enlightenment and spiritual evolution and metaphysical understanding, and then you will be like us. We were once like you, or we made you, or trying to help guide you to be like us, but it's all about the collective consciousness and the hive mind feeding off of each other's energy and reverberating into the existence that is all around you that can help you manifest reality. And y'all are all gods. You just haven't found the truth yet. So yeah, there you go. That's what happens. Spoiler alert, that's what happens. So no big deal. New world order. Oh, I'm crazy. Don't believe me. Okay.
Agenda 2030, United Nations Plan for Sustainable Development. These are sustainable development laws. Used to be Agenda 21. You know, some speculate that was for 2021. They felt like they couldn't get the job done. I mean, that's pretty optimistic. I hope that's true. That shows that we control things and we were either waking up or not falling fully asleep fast enough when it comes to compliance. But nevertheless, it was originally Agenda 21. Now it's Agenda 2030. I believe that Jordan Peterson, wizard of all wizards, well, I wouldn't give him that much credit, but he's definitely like pretty wizardry filled. He's just a wizard, bro. Yeah, he's a wizard. He helped write one of these legislations. I don't remember, 21 or 2030 anyway. I'll just read some of this nonsense. They don't want to have a new world order. If you actually think that, then you are effectively brainwashed because they objectively do. So, yeah. The agenda is a plan, like just the way it starts, like just the name, you know, like Agenda Sustainable Development Goals. This is way more Graveler influenced now. It used to be a document that you could just read. Anyway, they're going to hide this stuff, but the agenda is a plan of action for people, planet, and prosperity. It also seeks to strengthen universal peace and larger freedom. We recognize that eradicating poverty in all its forms and dimensions, including extreme poverty, is the greatest global challenge and an indispensable requirement for sustainable development. All countries and all stakeholders acting in collaborative partnership will implement this plan. We are resolved to free the human race from the tyranny of poverty and want to heal and secure our planet. And want and to heal. Okay. The Grabblers need to figure that out. Yeah, dude, we don't want it. Okay, maybe some of y'all aren't trained to see through the wizardry yet. But we are resolved to free the human race from the tyranny of poverty and want to heal and secure our planet. Well, of course, we're not on a planet. You want to end poverty. What that means is they want to redistribute the wealth of everyone except for them and then create dependence on the state, thus controlling sustainability rights. They tell you in the very name, Sustainable Development Agenda, transforming our world. They even put the date on it. That is weird, dude. It's not weird. It's on the back of your dollar. We just covered it. Grow up. We're determined to take the bold and transformative steps which are urgently needed to shift the world to a sustainable and resilient path. As we embark on this collective journey, we pledge that no one will be left behind. I bet y'all do, right? Because we get everybody. Y'all don't even have the choice to not go along with it, right? We pledge that no one will be left behind. Like, you have to understand the level of wizardry. If you're still plugged in the box, you won't even understand that that's a substantial statement. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals and 169 targets, which we are announcing today, demonstrate the scale and ambition of this new universal agenda. They seek to build on the Millennium Development Goals and complete what these did not achieve. They seek to realize the human rights of all and to achieve gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls. They are integrated and indivisible and balanced. The 3 dimensions of sustainable development, the economic, social, and environmental. That is the true motive here, bro. They have to tell you it is wizardry. So, yeah, they control the economy, they control the societal environment, and they control the literal environments. Okay, goals and targets will stimulate action over the next 15 years in areas of critical importance of humanity. And, of course, what we have here is a flat Earth map. Isn't that fun? Yeah. I would say this is pretty related to Earth. Okay. Let's see what these little grabblers are talking about. I mean, I didn't even read this before now. You know, I know it's retarded, though. All right. The goals and targets will stimulate action over the next 15 years in areas of critical importance for humanity and the planet. They love that word, don't they? People. We are determined to end poverty and hunger in all their forms and dimensions, and to ensure that all human beings can fulfill their potential and dignity and equality and in a healthy environment. Okay, so why do you get to determine anything about anything? We are determined to protect the planet from degradation. No, you're not. That's what you promote, including through sustainable consumption and production, sustainably managing its natural resources, and taking current action on climate change. Oh, so that it can support the needs of the present and future generations. Of course, this category is flooded with nonsense. Okay, we determined to protect the planet from degradation. That's all they do. They promote that very thing. They hate morality, so it's definitely moral degradation, including through sustainable development or sustainable consumption and production, controlling how much you consume and how much you produce, sustaining, managing its natural resources, controlling how much resources you use, who's allowed to have what they're allowed to have, and how much they're allowed to have. Okay, taking urgent action on climate control, climate change, which of course is inherently related to the natural resources thing because they want to control your ability to maintain or obtain energy. There's no such thing as global warming. Climate change is a retarded, term, bro. Climate changes inherently. There is nothing to be afraid of. They want to do. What are you doing? They want to make you afraid so that you will listen to the nonsense so that it can support the needs of the present and future generations, also known as probably something more along these lines that they don't want to tell you about. Sorry, I got a lot of pictures. So, yeah, this Georgia Godstones, maintain humanity in perpetual balance with nature under 500 million is the first one. Okay, that's what they really mean when they say present and future generations. Okay, prosperity. We are determined to ensure that all human beings can enjoy prosperous and fulfilling lives, and the economic, social, and technological progress occurs in harmony with nature. Okay, I did not know that was about to happen, but did you just see that? Oh my gosh. Prosperity, harmony with nature. Okay, let's just read this again. We are determined to ensure that all human beings can enjoy prosperous and fulfilling lives, and that economic, social, and technological progress occurs in harmony with nature. Oh, okay. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. I said something. What are the odds of that, dude? I said something about the guidestones. That's pretty wild. I said something about the guidestones, and then that's what that thing said. That's what the next one said. In perpetual balance with nature, harmony with nature. It's retarded, bro. Yeah, they want to control the economic portion, the social portion, and the technological portion. Yeah, they want to enslave you. They want to implement a slave state with constant state of surveillance via FRS, face recognition system, social surveillance, social credit system, which means how you behave on social media or even just in society in social settings. Actually directly reflects and controls your monetary abilities, right? Your literal credit, the social credit system, and it's all based on and dependent on the state. They want to make you where no one works, because physical work is actually like very logos heavy, to prevent you from working, to remove all of the strong men so they can oppose the implementation of this and definitely don't have them working physically, and then make everyone think it's cool to have you dependent on the states and never do anything, and you get your minimal amount of food. They create a fixed cost of goods designed to make it implode, because once it gets low, the price doesn't change, and then of course it runs out. And free market naturally balances out. When it's almost low, when it's almost out, they raise the price a little bit, and they ended up keeping on and holding on to it long enough before they can add more to it. Very simple, basic economics that people don't seem to understand. We're being coaxed into socialism, and that's because this has got to take place according to them. They think that they probably already meant to do it. I don't really know. Maybe 2021 to make you think that. Who knows? But we're determined to foster peaceful, just, and inclusive societies which are free from fear and violence. There can be no sustainable development without peace, and no peace without sustainable development. Also known as they are trying to promote everyone under the idea of peace so that they can lull you asleep and coax you into being super content with their monopolization of energy and land facilitation and energy facilitation and water and food and everything. No big deal. Yeah, I don't really want to read this. These are just some creepy grabblers, but y'all should check it out. Sustainable Development Laws, Agenda 2030. It's very simple. They want to control everything. All right. So I wonder if I feel like there is a look how long this is. We're committed to ending poverty. To promote physical and mental health and well-being, and to extend life expectancy for all, we must achieve universal health care coverage and access to quality health care. Oh my gosh. No one must be left behind. They want to unify everything, dude. They want to make it to where everyone has health care. It's the same system. Everyone has the same monetary system. Everyone has the same religious system, like belief system. Everybody has the same transportation system. Everybody has the same everything. Everybody migrates to purely electronic existence so that you can be monitored and controlled. So yeah, it's pretty wild. I'm not gonna sit here and read all this. Like I said, I'm pretty tired, but boom, Agenda 2030, Sustainable Development Goals, Knowledge Platform. This is what you should go check out. I will drop it in the chat because this is the plan to enslave you. Grow up. It's no big deal. If we know about it, they can't really do anything. All right, I'm going to come chat with y'all for a second, and then I'm going to get out of here. Oh, yeah, on this magical, mystical ball Earth that you live on that defies the basic laws of physics, in which the immensity of huge oceans goes convex for the one time ever in observable history. When they show you this globe Earth ball, it says not for educational purposes on it. So yeah, it also says not an actual representation on one of them I've seen, and it's because it isn't an actual representation. Lucifer telescope, large binocular telescope, near infrared utility with camera and integral field unit for extragalactic research. Yeah, that makes sense. Just because you had to add all of those unnecessary adjectives and descriptions so that you could make it Lucifer, that's not weird. Influence at a distance equals magic. I can't disagree. It's common sense. Gravity is a theory. Well, there is some effect, obviously. There's the explanation and interpretation and understanding of the effect is the problem. Electromagnetic and gravitational analogy by Oliver Heaviside. How does the downward force of gravity cancel out the lateral force created by spin? The forces will be perpendicular to each other. Well, yeah. Gravity isn't a force. I can see what you're saying. Yep. I mean, I wouldn't say cancel out. There's no telling exactly what would happen, Wouldn't cancel out. But yeah, it's nonsense, and gravity isn't even a force. It fails me. Smash the Rogans up. Help us beat the algorithms. There's up and down on flat Earth, no up and down on a globe. You didn't know that people on the bottom of the globe are upside down, dude? 24/7 4K footage coming soon. NASA's going to come show you. How do we not have that yet? How have they not zoomed down the bottom of the Earth yet? I mean, well, obviously we know why the Earth isn't a ball, right? But I'm saying, like, how do people not think that's weird? How do we supposedly go to the moon and no one thinks it's weird? We can't even get a full, like, video of the Earth. Whatever. Oh yeah, Nikola Tesla knew he was a legend. I can't necessarily disagree with that. I have a lot to do with intuition, metaphysical understandings, interpretations. When you feel someone close behind you, I don't think we really know. I do think that we do know there's a field there and it has a ton of energy in it, and it's the one main harnessing factor of energy itself and whatever manifestation or modality that it exists. And they don't want you to know that, but whatever, bro. We need to still try to figure it out. And like I said, quantum mechanics is completely retarded because of their refusal to admit the ether. So that's just objective. Quantum physics, quantum mechanics, quantum science, quantum energy, quantum fields, Higgs boson, all of it is nonsense. Dark matter, dark energy, no, it's nonsense. It's retarded. Okay, so I don't want to hear how quantum is anything. Quantum sucks. Quantum is objectively dumb. That's what it is. Quantum science is retarded in its very inception. It cannot do anything successful. It can't. It never has. It can't explain any of the observed phenomena. It's important because that's where all the money's going. That's where all the bright minds, quote unquote, are going. That's where all the younger, brighter minds of people that are trying to figure this out are going. So there you go. Quantum physics is retarded. They gave physical properties to the immaterial. You cannot give materialistic properties to the immaterial. They're not physical. They did that so that they could quantify them. Quantum science, quantum mechanics. Now they can't explain things like instantaneous action at a distance, but it isn't a physical particle traveling from point A to point B. That isn't what happens with light. Light is an ether perturbation modality. It's a coaxial circuit and a transversal movement along the longitudinal dielectric field. It has a rate of induction, not a speed. It doesn't travel from point A to point B. It's an ether perturbation relative to the medium and the amount of energy introduced to the medium. Oh yeah, bro. We're gonna eventually be on the come up, bro. The ether is 1,000 times more dense than the air, according to Nikola Tesla, and he knew this because of the efficacy of the propagation of waves. Because the more dense something is, the more efficient it is at propagating waves, and that's what the ether is, right? So super, super dense, non-perceivable, absolute background, okay? Just because you don't want to accept it or you want to be able to count it or want to be able to bottle it up, I don't know what you people expect to happen, doesn't mean it's not there. It's just like if you want to ignore the fact that God's there, he's not going anywhere. God's definitely very real. To be honest with you and bluntly honest with you, Yeshua is very real, was definitely very real. I had to really dig into it myself to figure that out. And whether or not you believe or acknowledge any of it, if you don't acknowledge God, he's not going anywhere. And there's divinity in the simplicity, meaning that he proved to you and sat right in front of you that he's real. If you're doing what you think is truly right in your heart and you're following Logos and you truly want to find the truth, okay, and you have like gratitude to God for creation, he'll figure the rest will work itself out. I think we all kind of can feel that God knows what you really are trying to do. So what you try to convince other people of or what you do doesn't matter. And if you don't think God's real, he doesn't go anywhere. Okay. And if you don't think the ether's real, it doesn't go anywhere. You can't explain how wireless power induction in a vacuum works without the ether. Quantum energy, manipulated pure nothingness whenever the laser went through the vacuum. It's retarded. It's all stupid. You can't even explain how light goes through glass or water. It slows down and speeds back up. Dumb. Yeah, like in the water slows down by 30% or in the glass. If it slows down by 30% and then it speeds back up, explain it. Oh, you can't. So yeah, quantum science sucks, and it should be dismantled and stomped on constantly because it's hand in hand with the theory of relativity. It's hand in hand with this heliocentric model. That's why we got quantum mechanics and quantum physics, is to keep the theory of relativity and its little baby intact. And now we got a lot of people being brainwashed. So smart people in college or whatever it is that are actually intrigued by the physics of this natural world are being brainwashed. They don't understand anything. How can you understand or come up with anything innovative and successful if you don't even understand the basic fundamental understandings the correct way? Right? It's retarded. There's no physical properties on the subatomic charge carrying physical, like cult of bombarding particles. It's retarded. It doesn't have. It's just stupid, bro. Everything is actually like harmonic. That's all it is. Everything is fields and energy. Everything. It's incoherent dielectric acceleration that causes mass to go down to Earth. there must be something. Yeah, it is indeed. And I've showed the video a few times, but go check it. I'll show y'all what the video is. If you want to fully understand what's going on, if you don't, oh wow. If you don't want to stay plugged into the box and be brainwashed, the Earth, like he said, is incoherent mass. So if you don't know, this is Globebusters, legendary. And here's a video right here explaining magnetism. Here's another one. So go check them out. It shows you with an actual experiment, right? Because that's what real science is. And as you increase the incoherent mass, then the pull gets weaker. That's what the Earth is. It's incoherent mass. This is pretty provable. Okay. So is anything else you drop. That's why that happens. It's incoherent dielectric acceleration. So go show. I wasn't even showing the channel. Go show the channel some love. Globebusters, legendary. Okay, we got these two videos right here explaining to you what gravity is. The little balls representing the Earth is giving you a visualization, a visual representation of how when you increase the incoherency level, yeah, right, get out of here. When you increase the mass of the incoherency, thus increasing the incoherency level, it gets weaker. It's inversely proportionate to its magnitude of pull, is the incoherent mass. So come check out Gravity's Incoherent Magnetism and the Incoherent Magnetics of the Gravity Beast on Globebusters. Made by Good Times for All. Go show him some love to GUD 4 times all. Yeah, times for all. So yeah, bro, that's all gravity is. It's not a big deal. And when people want to argue about it or say we shouldn't talk about it, well, I don't know what to tell you, bro. You're wrong. So, haha. The Earth's atmosphere would be sucked into space. Yeah, technically it would push out into space, but yes, it most definitely would. Second law of thermodynamics: high pressure migrates to low pressure. Like, it doesn't matter what you say about it. It needs a physical container. It's a necessary antecedent to gas pressure, and all observable phenomena shows you that. They can't offer one that doesn't. Imagine if Earth were spinning at 1,000 miles per hour with all of that water on it. I don't think it would be possible for it to ever happen, and that's one of the reasons I became a flat earther. Yeah, exactly. It is completely retarded. Clown world. Water always finds level, hence sea level fluid being in levels, right? And 70% of the Earth is water that always finds level. All right, so it's not spinning due to a mystical deified force of gravity when it's actually just an effect, and it's super weak and it's negligible. It's irrelevant. It's retarded. Insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. That is what they say. The elliptical orbit and spin of Earth destroys the globe. I agree. You would definitely feel the change of direction in the elliptical orbit that we supposedly have, but you do not ever feel this. I believe it's just like insane what it would be. There would definitely be some kind of a bank that it's so big. Just shut up, bro. Everything that you lie about is so big. Like, oh, evolution, but it just took so long. The numbers are so big. The amount of years are so big. No, you're just lying. You're making it unfalsifiable. It's retarded. Gravity's incoherent dielectric acceleration, incoherent magnetism. I believe the ether sets a natural up and down due to being the universal background, acting as a consistent compression. Gravity's an effect. It's reliant on the variance of other factors that are, independent of it, existing prior to it. Yeah, things fall due to proportion density, relative density for sure. But to ignore that there is an electrostatic relationship with the Earth and the matter of whatever's falling is retarded. So, take it or leave it. Smash the opens up.
everyone should check out Stan Tennessee Genesis' Sacred Secret Code. I will say, dude, sacred geometry and the toroid are very, very, very important. I think I just heard that she needs. All right, dude, chill. To get out. So I know what we will do. I saw.
Furthermore, the second platform should have had a Ryzen edge.
All right, I'm just gonna play some of my boy Ben. So a little bit of this. I gotta go. Actually, I guess that's pretty long. Gravity's incoherent dielectric acceleration. Remember it. Incoherent magnetism. Don't just remember it. Like understand it. It's simple, bro. But you need to know it. You got to know the truth, guys. You got to know the truth. I'm gonna let her out.
Hey out there on YouTube land. This is good times for all those actors who follow here if you prefer.
Oh, that's not doing
In this video, we'll be taking a look at the difference between coherent versus incoherent magnetism. We will again start with some quotes from Ken Wheeler.
Everything is electrical. The only thing that actually defines a magnet is field coherency. Before this is magnetic attraction. That which we call magnetic attraction, is it something autonomous from gravity? No, it's not. The only thing that defines or differentiates out the two is field coherency. Something separate and autonomous. Well, here's gravity here, and here's electricity here, here's magnetism. No, all that shit is the same crap. Like ice, water, and steam. They're not different things. Right now, by any definition of the term, and the force required to move this object, 50 pounds. Wow, that's over a piece of metal. You know, it still weighs 4 ounces if you put it over the dirt or, wood. Yeah, do you know why? Because then we only have one object that has field coherence. I'm not able to induce induction. I'm not able to induce field coherency in a piece of wood or the dirt.
As you heard Ken Wheeler state, everything is electrical. Not only is it all electrical, but he adamantly shouts that magnetism, gravity, and electricity are all the same thing.
Yeah, so to say that they're unrelated or they're independent is as stupid as saying that ice, water, and steam are different. They're different modalities. That's all it is. Gravity is a hybrid effect. It is a resultant. It is not independent because it does not have autonomous field modality, meaning self-governing modality of a field. Very simple. Here's actual science where we observe things so we can understand.
The part we will focus this video on is the quote where he states the only difference between magnetism and gravity is field coherency. Instead of trying to tell you what he means, I will show you with a few demonstrations. First, we will take a look at two coherent objects and how they interact with each other. Attraction and repulsion are both present.
We measure the magnets.
The more magnets we align pole to pole, the stronger the magnetic field gets. However,
we measure the magnetic pull, if you will, strength.
Is attracted to
which is just coherency. That's what magnitude is.
With the large incoherent mass of magnets and ball bearings. As you can see, the red pole of the magnet is attracted to the mass. So we might assume that the bare pole of the magnet would repel. Yet this is not the case. As I flip the...
Okay, that is what happens. Okay, but it is way, way weaker than that. It's way weaker.
Magnet over the bare end is also repel. Yet this is not the case.
Okay, that is an observation. This is observable phenomena. This is an experiment. This is science. Okay, so even though that this is incoherent and this is incoherent, there is a slight quote unquote attraction. Nothing attracts, it accelerates towards each other. It accelerates towards the null pressure point in between the two compilations of matter. Okay, and everything is dielectric and electrostatic in nature, and this is why this happens. That is what gravity is. No one cares what you have to say about it. This is made by Zach. Good times for all. Go show him some love. GUD GUD times for all. The number 4. And also go show, of course, the legendary Globebuster some love. And yeah, bro, that's what it is. So gravity's incoherent dielectric acceleration. No one cares what you have to say about it. No one cares if you say that I shouldn't talk about it or we shouldn't talk. I don't care, certainly. Okay, so quantum physics, quantum mechanics is retarded objectively. It's completely retarded. They give physical properties to the immaterial. So we can't even understand the natural world, the world that we've been discussing all night, right? Earth, yeah, we need to know the nature of it, okay? There's a toroidal magnetic field going through the center of it. It touches down on the outside of it. On the outside, there's an ice ring. Of course, something being cold increases the magnetic permeability of it, as does salt in the water, which is towards the edge with the ice. It's everywhere. There's like a giant alternator, giant battery. That's what the Earth is, if you want to look at it like that. It's very simple. It's the way that it works. There's an inertial plane. Everything has to do with sacred geometry. Let's see. I'll show you some sacred geometry visualizations a little bit. Everything has to do with that. That's what I think I already showed you, actually, right up here. This is what encompasses the Earth. This little dot in the middle, this circle of light, would be the number 9. Okay, that's what it would be in sacred geometry. I'll do a stream on that. But yeah, so that's the inertial plane that is in all magnetic fields, and that is the Earth, bro. And that's what God showed us, man. He shows us creation in so many different ways. It's in the big, it's in the small, and they're the same, but they're different. And that's what it is, bro. And you need to understand what's going on so that you can understand the world that you live in, because you don't, because there are people that lie to you about the very shape of the Earth, the nature of the Earth, the nature of what encompasses the Earth, the nature of heaven itself, the nature of all of the energy, so that they could keep the truth from you, because they have an ultimate plan, which we just looked at, United Nations Agenda 2030, which the flat Earth map is their logo. They're laughing at you. It's right in front of your face. The number 1 rule of the Georgia Guidestones is to maintain human population under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. That's what they say. Okay, so they lie to you about global warming, climate change, population, like overcrowded population and all this nonsense. But the entire world's population could fit foot to foot in Jacksonville, Florida. There's plenty of land. I live in Tennessee. I see land all the time. So it's retarded to say that we don't have enough land. They just want all the land. And rich people know that the most valuable asset is land. And they always say to each other, well, they don't make more land. But of course they don't. And we looked up yesterday that the Queen of England, guess how much she owns? 6.6 billion acres. What a coincidental number. 1/6 of the Earth, 6.6 billion acres. At least those are the numbers that we've been told. I wouldn't be surprised if the numbers are maybe right, but at the least, she owns 6.6 billion acres. I don't know about the 1/6 part because we simply don't know. But those are coincidental numbers, wouldn't you say? Yeah, that's retarded. It's part of their esoteric belief system. She's part of the elite bloodlines. They think that they are literally superior to you physically, genetically. I know it might be a lot to handle, but that's what they believe. Okay, so accept it. They lied to you about the Earth, so you don't know that there's a God. You don't know you're important. That increases apathy. That increases nihilism. That makes you feel like you're not important. Okay, people have been brainwashed to say the word gravity over and over, and we're sitting here looking at an observation. All that gravity is very simply, it's incoherent magnetism. Okay. You see that? It sticks to it, but he had to push it up to it because it's super, super weak. It's weaker than that because the Earth is huge and it's inversely proportionate to its magnitude of pull. Again, things don't get pulled. They're not attracted. It accelerates to the null pressure point in between. It's pressure mediation. So there you go. I think we covered it pretty decently. Again, you can go to bobwins.com named after my boy Bot from Globebusters. And this is what the magnetic flux looks like over the Earth. This is what the time-lapse footage of the sky looks like over top of it. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense because that's pretty clearly what it is, or very close to what it is. This is what encompasses the Earth. This is what they lied to you and told you it was. Do you see how different it is? Yeah, because everything's about inversion. So it's flat, stationary. It's a ball that's moving. Very simple. They lied to you. We see way too far. The horizon rises, always flat. All of the numbers has got something to do with their Luciferian doctrine, their Luciferian belief. It's obviously all revolving around the number 6. It's obviously 666 more specifically. It revolves around the number 33. The 3 and 3 make 6. There's 33 degrees in Freemasonry. Freemasonry is the esoteric belief system that stems all the way back to the mystery schools. It's not limited to that, but that is a secret society that is run by the Luciferian doctrine. What they do is they get you to do all of these occultic rituals to keep all of these secrets. As you move up, you do more and more and more. Then you get up to the 32nd degree. You get selected to the 33rd degree, voted on and approved. They tell you all kinds of secret. I can almost guarantee you one of the first things they tell you is that it's actually flat. G stands for Gnosticism, but also geometria, which is the ancient word that means to measure the earth. That's why the compass and the square is there. They're laughing at you, and that's just what the truth is. This Masonic belief stems all the way back to ages, that for centuries and centuries and centuries, there has been the people that are secretly, covertly, subversively running societies for their own monetary incentives and monetary gains and their power. That's what they do. They know that there's a metaphysical reality. That's why when Bob says stuff like, well, it's not just limited to these physical experiments, he's not wrong, because provably science can't explain everything and the metaphysics is real. So maybe we should all kind of try to understand that. So the metaphysics is real, but quantum level of science isn't real. That's the way that it is. You know what I'm saying? That's just objectively the way that it is. So we can't explain everything with science. Like how I randomly think of someone I haven't seen in 4 years, then boom, they text me. How I feel someone behind me. How my mom knew that she should call me. How do people know things before they happen? What is intuition? What is ultimately consciousness? None of these things can be described or explained by physical science adequately because it's simply beyond the physical world. It's the metaphysics. Ether teeters on that, but we can have physical observable phenomena that stem from the ether and within the ether that we can begin to understand. Will we ever fully understand the ether? No, it is the fingerprint of God, it is the background universal frame of reference, and everything revolves back around sacred geometry, which is the fingerprint of God. And again, that is what the center would be, is number 9. This is all geometry, more specifically sacred geometry intertwined by the inherent balance and harmonic nature of the numbers. 3, 6, and 9 are the most important numbers in the universe. Explains everything. This is what the Earth actually looks like. This is what the Earth is actually acting as. Again, it's a giant battery. The firmament was made by God, just like the Bible tells you, just like every ancient civilization knew, again, including the ones that used to have giants that they revered as gods, and they knew way more than you do. You might not want to accept it, whatever. If you can't at the least entertain it, then you are what we call indoctrinated, brainwashed, and plugged into the box. It's no big deal. Unplug. They hid history from you. They hid the truth from you, and they made your mind be into the state. They created your mind into a malleable state in which you think that it's crazy to even say that, okay? Gravity or electromagnetism, north is up, south is down, east and west are relative to the north central pole. So yeah, well, you know, down the only acceleration, or down the only direction with acceleration, well, there's north to south with an equilibrium between the fields and inertial plane that is the Earth, right? An Earth plane, exactly. So yeah, and yeah, something will go down to the ground, but that is because, again, of the natural order of the worlds, in my opinion, set by the universal background, the ether being compressed in a compressive state. It's a field of force. You can lie about all of it. The metaphysics is real, so that's just the way that it is. And if you don't ever seek the metaphysical knowledge and understanding, how could you possibly know it's real, or, you know, certainly ever be able to understand it? You wouldn't. Going all the way back to way before this, this was in 1963. They've been brainwashing people, coaxing them in on a society like wider level to a holistic level to get them ready for the lie about the Earth. That's what has been going on for a long time. That's how they operate, okay? So they misrepresent. Look at the boat falling off the Earth. Not one single human being believes that, okay? Just like when they show you, like, look, if I can guarantee you that if I type this in Google right now, it's going to show you all kinds of nonsense that no one believes. Okay, this is a proof of flat Earth. You got to unplug from the box, man. No one believes this. No, not one human being believes this. Not one human being believes this. Okay, we don't believe that. That's not what we believe. No, that's not what it is. What is that? What is that ball over there so far away? No one believes that. You think someone believes this? Not one human being believes it. Not one. No one believes this. What is all this? We don't. There's not a flying disc in space. It isn't. No, that's not what works. That's not what happens. What is this? What is that? This right here. What is that? You see, these are all the pictures Google's showing you. They're showing you fake pictures. Why? You know, I mean, all these at the top. Look at this. What is this? I mean, this is wild, dude. Look at that. This is all that they show you. They got to add the background. Look, oh yeah, we're stupid, right? I mean, you know, tell me that this isn't insane? Because if flat Earth was so stupid, why would you have to misrepresent the model? We're wrong, right? We're stupid. Why would? Okay, yeah, but obviously, I think we all know. Oh, you haven't been able to see this whole time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, look, all this is a lie. No one believes that. No one believes that. No one believes, not one human being believes this. Sorry about not being on here earlier. No one believes any of this. Everything that they're showing you, no one believes this. Oh yeah, ha ha ha. We're crazy. What is this? Again, if the Earth wasn't flat, why would they have to show you stuff like this? Why would they have to lie? No one believes that. Those aren't that big, bro, at all. What are you talking about? Those are wandering stars. You impose the physicality onto everything. And that's why quantum physics and quantum mechanics was designed. It was to get humans used to that. So yeah, not only is quantum mechanics lame and completely useless because of inaccurate base presuppositions, also known as begging the question, they beg the question of the very nature of what they're observing on the quantum level. Therefore, they don't understand anything. Okay, it's all because of the confinement of the reification fallacy that gave a property to a privation. That is the theory of relativity. They came from the incestuous scrapbook that is Albert Einstein. So yeah, hopefully you're following me. Anyway, they show you stuff like this, all this stuff I just showed you. This is a movie from 1963, Sword in the Stone. They show you this misrepresentation of the Earth, right? Because no one actually believes that. And then the wizard tells them, oh, I know everyone thinks the Earth is flat, but they're going to find out in the future, or that the Earth's actually a ball, you know? And he's a literal wizard. He brainwashes the kid. This is what the Earth is encompassed in. This is a toroidal field and the reciprocation of the toroidal field. The magnetic and dielectric energies have to coexist. They're two sides of the same coin. So anyway, yeah, this dude, this little grabbler derailed science. This is a legend. He understood the ether exists. He in fact said, an attempt to explain the universe without acknowledging the ether is a futile pursuit and it's destined to oblivion. He called this crazy person a fuzzy-haired crackpot, and he said that his theory of relativity was like a beggar, you know, in royal linen, like in purple linen, that fools mistake to be a king, but it's just rubbish. He's a garbage can. Look at this little grabbler. He wanted to be God. This dude's in Washington, D.C., and he's a 33rd degree Freemason that wrote Morals and Dogma, crucial, pivotal doctrine for the Luciferian doctrine, expression for the Luciferian doctrine. And we now live in 2020 where we get observations all the time that are way too far, and they are now admitting that you never see the geometric horizon. So if I were you, I would just wake up, bro. You see way too far, 273 miles. Been on here for a while. Sorry that I was so tired, but whatever. I got caught up reading a lot. If y'all got any questions, hit me real fast. I'll chat with y'all. Molten anything cannot hold a magnetic property exactly. Again, that's inversion. They have to tell you the opposite. They tell you the Earth is made of this molten magma core that's super, super hot. And we know that gravity is nothing more than incoherent magnetism. They just don't want you to know that. Super weak, negligible, incoherent magnetism. And they don't tell you that, and then they tell you this, and it's all about inversion wizardry. The truth is that would never happen, and we've only gone 8 miles into the earth factually, objectively. That's as far as we've gone. Okay, we're not supposed to go all the way down the earth. God made the world. Bro, we're just humans. Just accept it. Stop being so egotistical, man. You have to swallow your pride and humble yourself to admit that the God's real, bro. Smash the Rogans up. Exactly. I haven't really watched the Matrix movies, except I kind of watched the first one, but I do agree with the assessment that it seems to promote gamma tendencies and being a secret king, like you're the chosen one. The magnet of fire will no longer be magnetic. Well, yeah. To really, yeah, I mean, I guess that would be a decent way to look. I don't know if it would lose all of it. I don't know, actually. I've never done it. It would be so funny to witness people claiming the Earth was round for the first time. LOL. They'd look so stupid. Now it's the opposite. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. No bendy water. Yeah. Haven't learned enough about magnetism, whatever else, to understand what defines down. Okay, there is a universal frame of reference, universal background. Okay, it's always there. It's a force field. It acts as like it slightly compresses all of reality, all of perceptible matter, all of the material world. It slightly compresses it. It has a slight drift to the east. It does appear. And it's all based on the ether's existence, which is, again, the medium, the universal background. If the Earth, if everything was a pond, you threw a rock in it, the ripples were observable phenomena. The water itself in the lake, the water would be the ether that encompasses everything. Okay, and so that's why the ether acts the way that it does, because it is within, inherently, intertwined with this toroidal magnetic field. So it has a movement based on the parameters, of this Earth and the physicality of it, based on its matter. It's very simple, really, if you think about it. The ether acts as the ether sets the frame of reference of up and down, with acting as compression, and whatever falls is incoherent dielectric acceleration, because everything is inherently electrostatic, more specifically dielectric. And the Earth being a whole lot of incoherent mass, it's super weak. It's negligible, but it is there. It doesn't help anyone to just ignore it. They say you have to go high enough to see it, yet at 120,000 feet, it's still not high enough. Yeah, there are a bunch of globes out, whatever. The globe is done. They claim there is no sphere we are standing on now. Yeah, it's so retarded. There is no geometric horizon. The geometric horizon is never visible. Coefficient of 2 or more. It's hard to even listen to the nonsense. Infinite refraction. This is the point we're at in 2020, bro. Infinite refraction, okay, which... in the debate, he didn't even understand it, right? Anyway, infinite refraction. And we never see the geometric horizon. We never see the physical curve of the Earth. Okay. Maybe it's just not there. You ever think about that? All the horizons are apparent. We all know that. but refraction. You can't leave the Earth. It is a closed system. Yeah, exactly. It's a dynamic closed system, and Bill Nye, one of the chosen wizards, told you to your face. To lose magnetism, I'm assuming. Boom. Yeah, I don't care, dude. I don't think that they said my name, but I don't know. Looking at the moon in Germany right now seems too close and funny how only the clouds around it are illuminated. Yeah, it's definitely local, bro. I don't know, bro. Probably not. I'll check it here in a little bit. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. That's what I thought that was. Yeah, the Earth, the center of the Earth is certainly not some magnet. It isn't. The center of the Earth is a magnet, but I'm saying like the center of the Earth isn't this like core of like magma that's like super hot, like molten core that has this crazy strong pull. It's retarded. That's not what happens. It's just clearly not what happens, bro. It's so dumb. It's like, dude, you have to unplug from the box, and you see the world's under like a big spell, bro. It's like literally it's a spell of just like nonsense. All these people are just like laughing at you. So, yep, pretty long stream. Can't believe I went that long being as tired as I am. But yeah, dude, much love. I will be going live mañana. I think we pretty much went back over all the pictures. But yeah, this resets every year for thousands of years. This right here is a flat Earth proof that really can't even be refuted, but whatever. The Earth looks like this, bro, and all this stuff on the top is nonsense. It seems like we've just been lied to about the energy we always see too far. It's all because of Lucifer. Even this little incestuous Graveler had to admit you couldn't detect the movement. We explored Antarctica in the late 40s and early 50s. Operation High Jump with Admiral Byrd. He got on national television and admitted there was more land, probably set up now the more that I think about it. But nevertheless, NASA was founded in 1958, right after that. And then the Antarctic Treaty was signed in 1959. When this was founded, Operation Paperclip, we took a bunch of Nazis over here. Warner Van Braun was put in charge of the space program at NASA, in which they brought rockets over here 3 decades after experimenting with electrogravitic propulsion devices, also known as UFOs. And then again, 3 decades later, they bring us rockets that can't go anywhere because you can't go anywhere, and it's all retarded. It's all a lie. And they did this to lie to you about the Earth. Once they fully explored Antarctica, then they signed the treaty. Pretty obvious. This is what all the ancient civilizations depicted the Earth as, and they were much more advanced than us. I would say pretty retarded not to listen to them. They hid this dude from you because if you understood what he was figuring out and you understood that you live here, then you would not depend on the state for anything. You'd be completely self-sustainable and self-sufficient. Certainly if you grew your own food. This dude was a legend, and he created AC electricity that we still use to today. This dude in the middle, Charles Produce Steinmetz with the cigar, the short guy, he perfected the AC generator and made it way more efficient. But Tesla actually innovated the alternate current generator initially. So yeah, this is right here, dielectric inertial plane. And then the counter space, that's what we would say. People would say things, are attracted, magnetic attraction, acceleration to counter space. To the null pressure point between 2 magnets is what they really do. Pressure mediation, gravity is an anti-field. It's a resultant, super weak. I don't want to keep telling you, but maybe you need to know that gravity is basically just a fairy tale. They've been brainwashing us for years. They told us that's what the Earth looked like. The wizard brainwashes the kid and lies to him. Yeah, I think we've about covered it all, and everyone listens to this crazy person, but he reified space. Space is a concept about nothing. It's a privation. It cannot have a physical property, period. A privation example is a shadow. A shadow is an absence of light. It's nothing in and of itself. It's nothing independently itself. It can't have a property. It can only have attributes, right? Resultants of its being a lack of light is that if you stand in the shadow, it'll be colder. That's an attribute, but it is nothing. It's a privation. That is, of course, what space is, okay? Like a privation, like nothingness. That's a privation. Yeah, and so that's what space is. He reified space, gave it a physical property. It literally physically cannot have one. There is no physically. It can't have one, Okay, so he attributed a physical property to it to come up with some way to explain this nonsensical model and layout, cosmological understanding, and imposition of sphericity on all of the celestial bodies, and it's retarded. Their ultimate plan is clearly to detach you from the very nature of the earth, to detach you from creation, so that you don't look into all the different belief systems from back in the day about what God is, so they can swoop in and misguide your metaphysical understanding or pursuit, your spiritual pursuit, into what they want you to believe in. According to some prophecies, almost everyone's going to fall for it. Hopefully that won't happen. I'm pretty sure if you know the earth is flat, you surely shouldn't fall for it. But yeah, so I'm going to get out of here. Much love. I'll come check with y'all one more time. Exactly. How can nothing be something or have a property of something? It's completely retarded. Later, much love. I like that. I think this is exactly what's happened. They are completely distracting us from the center. That's what it is. Glowy white coats use their diamond anvil cell to pretend material characteristics are equivalent to Earth's core. It's all wizardry and lying. I thought 80K was the whole trip and 60K was a round trip Antarctica. He did make 2 trips, so maybe I didn't read about the other. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I mean, Admiral Byrd went there. I don't know anything about what money was involved. But I think that might have been all set up too. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it was all set up, and now all of our attention's at Antarctica, and they're just not gonna let us go there. There's an ice ring, but they're much more concerned with the front. We're not even looking at the north, not the front, the center. We're not even looking there. Yeah, exactly. There's an Illuminati card that says people laugh at the flat earthers knew something. Yeah, no problem, love. Thanks, bro, love. Thank you, man. Much love. Thanks, no problem. Much love. Okay, I don't really know. Look as if Marconi got the jump on you. Tesla replied, Marconi is a good fellow. Let him continue. He is using 17 of my patents. Yeah, I know. And then he successfully sent the first radio transmission over 2,000 miles. When all of his detractors said, you won't be able to shoot at 200 miles because of the curvature of the Earth, and only factored in was line of sight consistent with the flat Earth. And on his very first attempt, he successfully sent it 2,000 miles. In fact, a little bit over. And now globe zealots come up with nonsense like, oh, it perfectly reflected off of the ionosphere, perfectly consistent with what would happen on a flat Earth, only taking line of sight into account. So you can only wake up people that are willing to unplug from the box. I always say we can only show you the box. It's up to you to unplug. Let the dead bury the dead. Try to wake them up. Try to plant seeds, and then keep it pushing. There's way too many people that haven't even heard some of this information that we've discussed tonight. So yeah, basically, I guess as cliche as it sounds, keep your head up, keep speaking the truth, and certainly don't back down from little gamma males or keyboard warriors or people that always need to fit in, and they chase attention, and they're secret kings, and they act out subversively, and they want everything to be about them, and they all only care about acceptance and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, pretty much it's very simple. The box is a metaphorical ideological box that keeps you locked in, keeps you plugged in, it keeps you distracted. It increases apathy, which means not to care about anything. It increases nihilism, it increases materialism, it increases a disconnection from creation, a disconnection from your own importance. That's what it was made to do. And the world is a stage, and if you don't realize that it's a stage, then you'll never know that you're watching a play. And if you never know you're watching a play, you'll never understand the true motivations of the person that wrote the play, much less will you be able to adequately prepare yourself to withstand whatever the plan is or the agenda is or is in the play. You never will be able to see through it. So you have to unplug. That means stop watching porn, stop drinking fluoride, stop watching Netflix constantly and stupid TV shows, stop staying on social media looking at stupid things, at least be a part of some groups that are thought-provoking conversations. Think for yourself, chill with like making yourself a mind-numb zombie. It's been created, like anything that's free, anything that's prevalent, anything that's popular, anything that's pushed, it's all designed to keep you distracted and in the box. All that's in the box is things that scare you, things that brainwash you, and things that are crafted meticulously to keep you distracted and asleep from ever being able to see the truth. And what they're doing right now is they're coaxing the earth into an attempt to push towards a one world order. Accept it or don't, that's what it is. The organization it appears that's going to do that has the flat earth logo right in front of your very face. So simply unplug from the box. We can only show you the box. Smash the Rogans up. If you're not subbed and you enjoyed, sub. And I will catch up with y'all on the love.